Oh, damn it. Said like, oh, a bowl of cereal is actually so unhealthy that it's more healthy to eat a slice of pizza for breakfast. And I thought, great, so I've been healthy for a really long time. I've really been ahead of this curve.
Frosted Flakes every morning, bro. Frosted Flakes.
I eat one hard-boiled egg. It's the saddest way to start any day. That's my breakfast.
I feel like that sets your day up just to be nonstop hot farts. Like, the kind of farts where you creep around like the office like the Grinch trying to like find somewhere no one's looking so you can just light up the fucking room. Just slithering around the corner with your ass cheeks just reverberating.
Just imagine the Grinch, but now instead of like trying to fuck with kids' Christmases by putting bad presents under the tree, he's just going in their houses and laying disgusting egg farts.
Well, yeah, dude, like
yeah, he's like waiting for someone to be about to walk into a room, and then he farts in that room, and then he leaves before they walk in. So they're like, what?
He's opening mason jars and farting into them and closing them back up.
Do you think that works? Is there any way you could trap a fart in a jar? Has anyone ever, like, there's got to be like someone who's tried it, like some diehard Larry the Cable Guy fan has definitely done that. But like, you know, like them good old boys, the ones that, you know.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I always like when Scott's going down like a rabbit hole, and we know he like last week on the podcast he was talking about some group of people. I don't know. I forget which one he was trying to offend at the time. And he was like, you know, like he's like, you know, the guys at Wawa at like 4:30 on Sunday. He goes, you know the type. Well, all right, let me stop. And we're like, no.
Actually, please keep going.
Yeah, because they're all Swamp Thing cousin fuckers who think like
Swamp Thing cousin.
Who think Applebee's is fancy. Like, if you think Applebee's is fancy, I don't know what you think about immigration policy. Shut the fuck up. Like, everything else you have to say is non-consequential.
It's like 7:30 in the morning, but they have like a greasy mouth. Like, you know, they haven't eaten yet today. Like, what the fuck is going on there?
It's so horrifyingly accurate.
Yeah. Like, they look like they just ate a Wawa breakfast sandwich, but they're in line paying for a Wawa breakfast sandwich. He was like, what did you do? How did this happen?
That's gonna be my favorite new joke setup. Like, they look like they just got done going to town on a homestyle roast beef sandwich from Arby's, but they're in line at Arby's to get a homestyle roast beef sandwich.
Yeah. That's like the call is coming from within the house moment for those kind of people. Like, but wait, they're in line to buy the sandwich.
Well, I'm already crying, so I guess it's as good a time as any to start the episode.
All right.
Fuck.
Oh, man.
How you guys doing today?
Don't ask.
Derek and Scott with us as per usual. Welcome back to the Cynical Nerd. Derek, how's your Sunday evening going?
It's going great. I had some poo-poos this morning, but I got them out, and I'm cleared out now. I feel like I got like a natural colonic, and I'm just ready to be here and do this.
Was it a colonic or an enema? It's a very important distinction.
I guess I don't know the difference, so I don't want to do the wrong thing.
I don't either. I was banking on you telling me. On the heels of that bad boy, Scott, how you doing today?
Very much like Derek, I am hollow, but not in the sense that I pooped it all out. It's just there's a void of black, dark nothing growing inside of me. Very much like the antagonist of Neverending Story, the Nothing. And it lives inside of me. It's kind of like when you were a little kid and you got one of those giant bunnies for Easter, like one of those giant bunnies. You were so excited when you broke it up, it was hollow, and you felt your heart sink. There. Yeah, that's just every waking moment of the doldrums we live in these days. Doing good, Chris. Doing great.
Speaking of black, dark nothings, our weekend review starts off with another chat about Twitch.
Okay.
I don't know where you thought that was going.
I don't know.
But I might be more intrigued by the corporate black hole that is Twitch has done it again. We had a story we entered into the news early this week where we talked about, or where we were going to talk about this company called Monstercat, which is a company that offers, it's a record label, and you can pay monthly. It's like $6 a month for the gold status, I believe. And these are tracks that you basically pay $6 a month for the ability to stream these tracks without getting slapped with a DMCA takedown. So it's actually kind of what we had been tossing around as something Twitch should do. Like, quit being a bitch, just give people either a paid tier option to stream music without worrying about the DMCA, or pay for it yourself because you make all the fucking money anyway. And that's what this company does. So they fill kind of a niche that I don't know if it's needed, but it definitely exists. So whatever, not mad at the company. However, they had a partnership set up that was announced with Twitch, where if you paid for a month of gold after the first month was up, you would be fast-tracked to get your Twitch affiliate status. So that happened earlier this week.
Yeah.
And I think today we found out that
they're backpedaling. They are backpedaling.
They surely are.
We're talking Josh Brolin in the Goonies, bro. You remember that scene with the sports car? They are backpedaling. Sorry, continue.
After what I'm sure was a magnificent shitstorm that was dumped on their heads from the internet as a whole, because I don't know anybody that was happy about it. I only knew two kinds of people. I saw indifferent and I saw angry. Derek, I don't know that we didn't expand upon all of our views of this. I don't think in chat. Like, how did you feel about this decision and ultimately the backpedal that happened?
So, okay. In two parts, I think that the initial announcement that you could essentially pay like a monthly fee to like automatically be affiliate was goofy. I think that Twitch, in a lot of ways, is, using the Easter Bunny thing, hollow and useless corporation. It's getting to that point anyway. There's just a lot of stuff that you have to do. Like, you have to pay in order to interact. So like, it's cool because you can make your own, emotes and whatnot, but you have to expect that people will either spend their real life money on bits to have access to them, or to, sub to you to get your subscription emotes. It almost like anytime someone comes in and they sub to my channel, like, my initial thing is, of course, that I'm grateful, but immediately afterwards, I almost want to apologize, because I think it's just goofy that you have to like pay money to have that same interaction that was just sort of a base level of content for, on Mixer. Right. So when they announced that they were now like, you could pay $6 a month to automatically become affiliate, I don't even really understand how that would work, because whether you have the viewers or not is really what it comes down to. Like, people actually, the idea is that by the time you get to partner, you have, or affiliate rather, you have enough of a following of people who do want to subscribe to your channel and get that extra content. So I didn't really get it to begin with, but it just seemed like cheap. It just seemed like another way to just filch money out of both content creators and the people who show up for it. Right. I totally get why they backtracked on it. Why wouldn't you? Nobody, like you said, there were two types of people. Were either people who were like mad about it, and people who were just like, okay, whatever. Nobody was really for it. So I think it was the right move for them to back out of it. But I mean, it's just the newest thing in a long chain of just weird, just weird decisions that they're making. And that's going to derail my entire ability to form sentences. So I'm just going to end it right there.
Very good, Scott. How do you feel about it? Is it like that dog in your picture? Audio listeners, I apologize. You might want to jump on YouTube for this clip. Shill for our YouTube channel.
Oh wait! If we're doing that, then I gotta hit Derek with this one.
Oh, you got another one?
You're in the phone. You're being Reddit faced right now.
Yeah.
Scott, you're a meme.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been working my entire life towards this. I'm so happy to finally be here. Speech. I mean, are you guys familiar with the old Simpsons episodes, like back when it was kind of good? In the episode where Barney makes the art film, he's like, don't cry for me, I'm already dead. Like, whenever someone comes to my channel and subs, I want to tell them that. Like, don't sub to me, I'm already fucking done with this horse shit. There's no point, man. Like, you're like, we talked about before how it's literally that you get a free sub with Prime. It's essentially Amazon handing you like $3 back out of your Prime subscription by the time they actually pay somebody. They give you like a $6 value and then give the streamer $2 to $3 of that. To me, and this might ruffle some feathers because I've seen a lot of people get affiliate and be really excited about it. To me, it's always been a fucking participation trophy. It's like it makes no difference again because you still have no access to anything that you would need to improve your streams aside from allowing you to shill for Twitch and make them half of the money that you probably would have get on your own through PayPal donations if they didn't have that service set up for you. Right. This to me, like I think it just would be the reason I was mad about it isn't because I hold affiliate in some high standard. You know what I mean? And again, I'm a dick, might ruffle some feathers. It's pointless. It's useless. It's a way to get people who maybe otherwise wouldn't keep doing what they're doing because they're maybe discouraged by the lack of interaction they're having. They're discouraged they're not growing as quickly as they want to. It's to give them a beacon of hopes that they'll keep making whatever they can make for you as a business is what it really is. It's essentially a freemium game for streamers. It's always been pay to play. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's I'm rambling here, but the point is that like to me it's just this is exactly what we were talking about last week where companies and gaming companies are feeling that they can sell you everything. You know, like you don't have to grind to level up your Apex Legends Battle Pass. You can just buy the first 100 levels for $5 a level. Fuck it. It's your parents' credit card, and it's the same thing. Like I wouldn't see it being too far behind for them to allow. Like if this would have passed under the radar without any real like pushback, I could have seen them doing that with Partner or with being able to promote yourself and have yourself on the front page for X amount of money. Shit like that where it's like. I mean,
that's what I mean. It's such a weird gesture. Like the fact that like the idea is you want subscribers, you want people to subscribe to you, right? But if you're like starting off day one and you just pay for affiliate, you don't even have a fucking following to subscribe to you. So like, it's such a meaningless gesture. So I get they went back on it, and that's the point. But that's kind of the point I was trying to articulate, and I couldn't really get out. It's like, what's the fucking point? It's just a badge. It's just like a title that's now on your stream. It means nothing, but they're still getting money out of you.
God damn it. Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of felt the same way when I read it. Like at first, everybody was like, oh, this is bullshit and invalidates all these things. And my initial mental state was like apathy. Like I just didn't give a fuck. Like I know it's shitty, but like you said, like affiliate is so meaningless. First off, affiliate shouldn't exist because like just at all. And I know I'm echoing points you guys have already made, so I'll make this real short. But affiliate is so fucking stupid. It's this arbitrary gate mechanism that doesn't need to exist, right? Like you just give people emotes and the ability to get subscriptions. Why do you right now Twitch is so fucked with people trying to be streamers that you have so little chance of actually making it anywhere on Twitch. Like it's not like a Mixer service or another small I forget the name of the other small streaming service that someone was shilling in chat the other day, but you have so little chance already. Like, why is it affiliate even still a fucking thing on Twitch? Like, just it's not like it hurts them to make people do this. And spoiler alert, you can give affiliate to yourself so fucking easily. Just go make 3 bullshit Twitch accounts and set them up on a laptop downstairs while you stream. Like, surprise, it's really not fucking hard. The whole affiliate thing is so arbitrary that when I read this, I was like, well, like, who gives a shit? But then at the same time, I get it. Like, I guess I get it. I mean, I don't agree with it. Like Scott, kind of a dick here. Some people are really proud of getting affiliate status, and I get that. And yeah, it is something you have to achieve, but it's like the first step on a fucking 18-step ladder. Like,
not even, dude. Like in order to have Partner, you need 150 concurrent viewers over a 30-day period, an average of 150. So you're
75. Unless they upped it, it was definitely 7. But even still, like 75 is such a far fucking cry.
Right, well, yeah,
from 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's All right, so technically, I was gonna say it would be the first step of a 75 or whatever. It doesn't make a difference. The point is like it's disingenuous, like the way they snuck it in there like that.
Yeah,
it's unnecessary. It's like we said, it's an arbitrary title.
Right.
It's them basically selling it to you just because people think people get that and they think that it means they're going to be Partner someday. And the problem is, like you said, saturation. I think the reason that some people, myself included, had more success and had more fun on other platforms is it's not as hyper competitive, but also the algorithms work slightly differently. You know what I mean? Like me being the streamer that I was on Twitch with the amount of followers I had on Twitch would never make to the front page of Twitch, no matter how many people were watching me on like an off day or something. I mean, I could somehow get hosted and have 1,000 people watching me, but I still wouldn't be on the front page of Twitch because who the fuck am I? There's already a DJ that nobody knows who's playing on there for like 8,000 people. It's full.
He's just spinning fucking plates, dude.
He's on there every day, that guy. What's he doing?
It might be different guys. I don't know. I don't. They might just switch out all the time.
They might slither in and out, farting like the Grinch as they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be
they wear the same fucking hat and the same shirt, and they just slip in and out every 8 hours for a return shift to keep the channel running.
If I had a superpower, if I could be one of the X-Men, my power would be to be able to displace my farts anywhere I wanted, so I could watch that stupid motherfucker, that smug copy paste EDM producer, smell my farts for hours live, like trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Right, like he's in it, and then all of a sudden, like, what the fuck? It, like takes him out of it, and like misses a beat.
You'd be like, oh, it's.
I mean, he misses
in here and made some eggy farts.
I mean, he misses a beat, but like his computer's doing all the heavy lifting, so no one notices. Like,
right? Yeah. I mean,
let's
be real. It was so produced that, like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, really.
You couldn't miss a beat if you fucking tried. You're on that grid so hard.
Yeah, first of all, like if you're gonna show people that you have skills, you should probably have the cam facing your board and not the dance floor that no one's on but you. That's just weird. You're dancing in your kitchen. I know what you're doing. It's weird. If you invited me to this party, if you invited me to a party at your house and I showed up and it was just you dancing in your kitchen by yourself, I would think you were a serial killer. Yet people line up by the thousands to watch this, and I can't imagine like what they're actually doing when this is on in the background and they haven't changed it yet. Like,
yeah, I don't know. And then, so just getting back to the Monstercat thing, when they backpedaled, now it's basically meaningless. Like the backpedal was, well, okay, so you still need to achieve affiliate on your own. So now it's absolutely meaningless because you have to pay for a month of Monstercat and then hit the affiliate metrics on your own.
They changed the wordings 3 times before they just deleted that entire section of their promotion.
Yeah, it's fun.
So wait, is it basically if you have the like fake affiliate, but you haven't met affiliate guidelines by the time that monthly subscription runs out, you would be like de-affiliated? Is that how? I mean, I know it's gone now.
Well, no,
almost like
the way they had originally had worded it, it may have been like it said like fast track your path to affiliate, which is loose terminology. They could have meant like here are all the tools you need to get, but like you can get 3 fucking average viewers without having a fucking $5 a month subscription. Like
right.
So it was either just misleading in the way they worded it, or and somebody probably got fired for it, or it was intentionally maliciously misleading, hoping that they'd get that big jump of first month subscriptions. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing just feels dishonest, and I mean that's the whole point. Like everything about the platform is so much more dishonest. It's so much. It's like tied up in all this like monetary value. It's just not about like trying to be entertaining and wanting people to come in. Like you had on Mixer, you had all the dumb little stickers, and all right, like you could pay and get more, but you had like
but nobody paid
or whatever at base. Exactly, yeah, and it was fun. It's like
nobody paid to toss a beach ball around when you're. You know what I mean? Like.
But I don't know. It's just everything is so locked behind like actual real life money and watching ads, and it's like I don't know. It's just a nightmare. And the problem is like it seems like the platform itself is only going up, but it's really the only people benefiting from it are people not even playing games, which we've talked about a number of times before. The DJ, titty streamers, whatever. It's like it's not even really about gaming anymore. It's about advertisement. Right. It's just I don't know.
They've been airing Thursday night football games on Twitch.
Yeah,
just to give you an idea. Yeah, no, I'm not. I've been getting alerts for them. I don't even fucking know why.
One of the things that's the craziest to me though, and I feel like we should like when we used the phrase titty streamer, it sounds sexist. But there is a big difference between female streamers who are harassed and then people who actually are just taking a nap on cam for 5 hours. Like,
oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I was referring to.
It's Scott. You mean you're talking down to the women who sell their bathwater to basement dwellers on Twitch?
No, actually, my PC is cooled with e-girl bathwater.
E-girl bathwater.
Yeah,
e-girl bathwater. What a fucking thing!
I would speak her name here, but she's kind of like Voldemort. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. You can't speak.
Makes it more real.
Yeah. You can't speak power to evil like that.
What if it was like Beetlejuice, but every time you said it 3 times, someone like out of cam, someone just dumped the bathwater on your head, like just like a Nickelodeon like splat,
like it was always there. Too.
Okay, yeah. All right, someone's just.
All right. Okay.
Oh, all right. He's got an idea, okay. Derek. I can see it brewing.
Here we go.
three of us for some reason are doing a triathlon, right? Or something. What's a sport we could actually do? I'm trying to think.
None. I don't. Triathlon's
Chess.
fine.
Yeah.
We have a rousing game of tennis going on. All right. We walk off the court. We're like, I don't know who our fourth is. I guess it would be Jello. No, it wouldn't be Jello.
It can't be Jello.
I would say Nick, but the game would never get started for conversation.
Look, for the sake of argument, I'll let you guys be on the same team. I'll take Fitz because we know Fitz is gonna hear this.
We love you, Fitz.
Yeah, we do.
If
I could play tennis with anybody to whoop these two stupid sons of bitches into the dirt, it would be you, Fiddle. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so we're playing tennis.
Yeah, we're playing tennis. We get off the it's a long game. We play like 5 sets, which I think takes like 7.5 hours. We get off we get off the court. We're absolutely.
I don't know enough about tennis to correct you. So yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, because you play for points, and I think you need like 5 out of I don't know. You need a lot of points to win a set.
You need some points.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. Or I think it's sets and then matches. We play lots of matches. All right. We get off the court. We're drenched in sweat. What e-girl's bathwater would you reach for on the shelf to pour over your face like a bottle of Gatorade in those 90s commercials, Chris?
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. So first off, I don't know enough e-girls names to even tell you this answer. Legitimately, the one who we're talking about, the person who filled their computer with it, I don't know that e-girl's name, so I can't answer.
Schmel Pelpine, without actually saying it. Schmel Pelpine, we'll call her.
Schmel Pelpine.
I don't even know what that is. I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know who the real person is. Del?
Pelpine, the bathwater girl. Come
on.
Okay.
Okay.
She stole her pits too.
Oh no!
That's where it gets. I mean, well, it was already weird, but that's where it gets unsanitary.
Yeah,
Derek,
think of the mailman.
For you,
think of the mailman who has to deliver, and the jar probably wasn't tight. It probably leaked on other people's.
A little bit on the hand.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
People are sending holiday cards to their loved ones. Some old lady sent her 7-year-old grandson a birthday card. It's got what's her name? Delphine?
Yeah, might as well be. Yeah, Palpatine.
Yeah. Has Del Palpatine's piss all over it.
Palpatine.
It's a Garfield birthday card, happy 7th birthday, soaked in Del Palpatine piss. It's not. This isn't a world I want to live in, guys. You wonder why I'm so sad all the time? It's because everything's a fucking nightmare. It's all bad.
It's all piss all the way down.
Yeah.
Jars of piss.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving me great segues today. Speaking of something that's not bad, our next piece of news is that the long-standing back and forth debate about when Wonder Woman 1984 was actually going to fucking come out has been settled. It is now going to come out in theaters and on HBO Max on Christmas Day at no extra charge to HBO Max subscribers. We just talked about this last week, talking about how we didn't think it would be a great idea for Warner Brothers because HBO Max is $15 a month, and they're not even charging anything extra. So while I might say, hey, could be a bad financial decision for them, I'm very happy about this. I get to watch Wonder Woman at no extra charge. Why the fuck would I not be excited about that? Derek, how you feel about this?
It doesn't, again, financially, for Warner Brothers, it seems weird that they would do it, but I don't care because I get to benefit from it. I get to watch it with the service I already have. Upon reading the article earlier, I saw that I think what's going on is essentially with the coronavirus, there's been so much shifting around of the release dates for all their planned movies, and even there's just the development cycle is so fucked up on so many things that they're just kind of all right, just pull the fucking trigger and release the movie. We have to get something out there and make some kind of money, or people are going to start getting really mad. So it's I actually as much as I talk shit on superhero movies, I actually like the first Wonder Woman. So no, I think it's cool. It makes no sense whatsoever to me why that would be their decision, but I'm okay with it. Whatever.
Yeah, Scott, how about you?
Neat. That's neat.
Cool.
That's all I got.
All encompassing. That's
no. We talked about it last week, and I already said everything I have to say. But what I will say is, I watched the trailer again, and I think it's gonna be really bad based on the fight choreography I saw. Based on the fight choreography I saw, where Kristen Wiig jumps as a half cat lady. She's still not full cat lady. She does this weird Matrix weird Wachowski twist, and you're just that didn't give you any aerodynamic. It didn't help you at all. You didn't have any What? Why? You're just expending energy that you need to land that first. It's dumb. It looks stupid.
Yeah, but on the one hand, I'll give you Wonder Woman bad furry physics, and on the other hand, I'll give you Black Panther Final Fight physics, which were pretty equally bad.
Yeah, but Black Panther was dope.
Yeah, but the CGI was not. I don't know why. I didn't see a lot of people like getting on top of the Black Panther has shitty CGI train, but it was real bad in a lot of places. There's no point in bringing it up because it's not what we're talking about. But like that Final Fight looks like a fucking joke. It looks like a CGI cartoon where they have no budget.
I don't have a problem so much with the CGI. Sorry, I just noticed the dog's face. I don't know how I tuned it out for so long and I noticed it again. I don't have a problem so much with the actual CGI. It's just
YouTube exclusive.
It's like the fight choreography. Like, how did you do something that makes less sense when you can do anything now? You know what I mean? To me, it's like I can understand you having like some weird, rigid, stiff spin back when it was like wire fighting in like the 90s for like Batman Forever or some shit. Like even then, like, I don't know.
You know, my biggest problem with Wonder Woman 1984 is it's fear of the unknown, and it's the unknown of whether or not Kristen Wiig's cat lady is going to give me a mega rock hard boner or going to give me nightmares for weeks.
You can never close that book again.
Is Kristen Wiig's cheetah going to turn me into a furry and make me lose all my friends and family and hopes and dreams in life?
You gotta move to
they
like
find
LA
out they're gonna my wife's gonna find like a tail butt plug in the mail and just abandon me.
Not just a tail butt plug, but also like adult diapers that you like are very.
No. Why do they go together all the time? I don't understand the correlation.
It doesn't make any sense. I think the only correlation is that people who want to fuck animals are also sick fucks that want to poop their pants. I think that's I think that's the only correlation between the two.
That's fair.
If you're fucking animals, you might as well shit yourself. I mean, think about it for a second. You kind of crossed the line at that point. Just let that shit go right in the pants.
Like no one's gonna be like, oh, and he shit himself. Ew! like they're already so grossed out. Like that's gonna be like of course he shit himself.
Yeah, it's either they're so grossed out that they didn't even have to hear the second part, or they're so into it that like, of course, it's not going to faze them because it's like, yeah, fucking, of course you should.
Everybody wins.
Let me eat it up.
Oh no!
Let me eat it up. Kevin spilled on the floor, chili office style.
Oh no! As bad as my week has been, that made it worse.
Yeah, how did we get here?
I'm surprised, eternal. I don't know how I'm trying to go right back into serious conversation. Surprised.
You just compared a diaper to Kellen's chili incident on The Office. I want you to take a minute, and I want you to.
You made us all think of that, like scooping shit with your hands back into a fucking diaper.
Poor Kevin, he worked on it all night.
I want you to sit here with your thoughts. I want you to marinate in your shit metaphor for just a minute.
We have to make like a cynical nerd dunce cap where one of us just says something really fucking awful and has to sit with it for half the episode.
I think I'm wearing it all the time.
I was gonna say it's probably Scott's beanie. That's why it's just perpetually on.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I would not want to smell the top of your head. I gotta be honest.
Jesus Christ, Derek. Over the you're in high school, like the high school vaulting team.
I feel like we covered last week that I wiped my ass. I just need to make sure everyone knows I washed my hair.
I wipe my own ass. No, I mean for those of you who might not have seen the YouTube version of the podcast, there have been several episodes where he's got his luscious locks out. Sometimes he's combing them, you know. Sometimes he's just flowing like he's Thor Odin's son, Thor Burden's son. Okay, so 1984 is coming out, Christmas Day, HBO Max, which is a lovely service. Thank you, HBO Max.
Yeah, they really are, though. And just killer programming all around.
I started watching Barry. I told you guys off chat.
Yeah, Barry's so fucking good, right?
I didn't watch it. It's real great so far. I don't know what the guy's name is who's got alopecia, says no hair, but I love him.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
He's so fucking weird and hilarious, like, all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The like Russian guy or whatever.
Every scene, every scene he's in is just a fucking joy. I am still somewhat optimistic about 1984 for one really big reason, and that's the trailers for the first movie looked goofy too. And like Derek, I still came away enjoying the movie. I liked it more than I thought I would. I didn't think it was amazing, but I thought it was good, and I thought they did a really good job of like making her a good person, but in a real earnest way. Like the scenes like her saving the town and them saying like thank you. It all had this real nice like, oh, she really likes helping people type thing. I don't know. It just worked for me. Some of the CGI was terrible, and the villain at the end, of course, was god awful. But that's most superhero movies. Yeah. I don't know. As long as CGI furry syndrome isn't too bad, I think the movie's gonna be okay. But
yeah, if you can make that movie without peeling some chilies, man, you'll be fine. Just... but also just to add to the very end of that, you just said that your favorite thing about a superhero movie is that the superhero liked to help people.
I mean, I generally like superheroes that help people.
That's all of them.
I hate you so much. I'm just gonna sit here and sulk now. All right,
that's the best singer since Superman's weak to magic. That's
oh, dude, Scott's fucking reaction. We don't have time to go down nostalgia lane right now, but that was. If you haven't been listening to all the podcasts and you're new here, please catch up. You got to catch up. Moving on.
It's just I love how infinitely optimistic you are about anything that's DC.
No, I'm optimistic about Marvel things too, and until they prove me otherwise, like Justice League, right? There's a couple moments in that movie that I liked, but overall, I think the movie's pretty hot fucking garbage, and I'm the first person to hold his hand up and admit that. Anyway, the next piece of news is about Stranger Things season 4, which is still happening. And we got an interesting announcement that Robert Englund is set to star in, well, not star, but been cast in season 4. He will not be reprising his role as the Dream Demon himself. Instead, he will be playing Victor Creel, which is described as a disturbed and intimidating man, surprise, who was imprisoned in a psychiatric hospital for a gruesome murder in the 50s. So we know season 4 is taking place. Well, they're kind of focusing on like the 80s vibe of everything. We don't really know a lot about season 4 besides the teaser that they released really, really early, where they revealed that what's his face, fucking
Hopper,
Russian Captain America / Hellboy, has
Hopper.
now, Mr. fucking Hopper is alive and in Russia, which is something we all figured because of the end of season 3. But now it's confirmed, and now we know that Robert Englund is joining the fucking cast. So, Scott, I know you're a big horror fan, and just because of that fact and only that fact, I want you to go first.
Okay. Robert is the king of cringe. You know what I mean? Like, he's in more bad horror movies than anyone else has ever been.
That's a great way to put it.
Including Kane Hodder, who has played Jason Voorhees not only in Jason X, but Freddy vs. Jason, which is the biggest horror cringe fest of all time.
Oh, it's real bad.
Oh, no, it's great, though. It's so horror.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what makes it so watchable.
Absolutely.
No, but it depends on how they use him. You know, if it's just one of those things where they're padding him and he's going to have like a reprising role for an episode 2 as another patient wherever Hopper's being held, like, all right, I'll take it. But I think it'd be interesting to see someone like him who actually can act, but is very campy, very like kind of like everything about him is 80s. You know what I mean? When you think of 80s horror, you think 80s sci-fi, like 80s gore, you think Robert Englund. So to see him maybe take on the role of an antagonist, someone who has maybe a larger role, I think could be really cool, but it could also be like the ultimate cheese fest. It could be the worst fucking decision they make. But I don't know, man. The show tends to like repeat itself every season, but just on a more grandiose scale.
Yeah.
It's kind of been, you know, I mean, it's good, but I don't know. I think it could be cool as long as they handle it right and as long as they write him as a character that he can play. Again, like he's
a nice way to put it.
Yeah, like he's good at what he does, but I don't know how wide his range is. Is a nice way to say that?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
he's got a real. You can get a signature with him at Comic-Con every year type of range. You know what I mean?
And it's like $5.
That feels way meaner than I wanted it to be.
I mean, it was super mean.
It was really fucking mean.
Like the way Daryl from Walking Dead
has an autograph from that guy.
Like the way Daryl from Walking Dead is at every single Comic-Con. Like, you're not doing anything else after Walking Dead's over, bro. Just fucking chill. Chill as hard as you can. Make that money.
I don't know, man. Derek, he's gonna be in every game. What's his name? Produces from here on out.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah, Kojima. That's my baby. That's my dad.
My baby daddy. Derek, how do you feel about Robert Englund being in season 4 of Stranger Things?
I like that they're continuing this trend of like getting actors from late 80s, early 90s and just hiring them because that's kind of the, you know, timeline of the show. Like they had I don't know how to say his name, Carrie Ells or something, the mayor from season 3.
Oh, yeah.
Robin Hood Men in Tights, yeah. And, you know, a bunch of other things too, but that's always what my mind goes to.
Sean Astin, baby boy Sean Astin.
Sean Astin, exactly.
Rider.
So, you know, I like really, I know Robert Englund has like this wide range of work, but I really only know him for Nightmare on Elm Street. That's really all that I'm familiar with him. I know he's apparently a really nice guy, really good dude. So like, I'm happy to see him on board, but I have to agree with Scott that like the show and I love the show. Like I'm not dogging the show. I enjoyed every season so far. It has to end soon because it's going to get old soon. It even kind of got old at some point.
The kids are getting old soon.
The kids are getting old.
Yeah.
They're like 40. They're older than me now. How'd that happen?
Somehow they skipped ahead.
But it's time to wrap it up soon because like even last season, there were certain points I was like, all right, we get it. And then it always seemed to redeem itself. Like it always had some good moment that made you kind of forget about that. But that resource is going to run out soon. They actually only intended for 3 seasons to ever be made of it, but it was such a fucking hit that, you know, obviously they're making more. But anyway,
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Cool. That the dog in Scott's background is reminding me of like the Demogorgon dog that was in the last season.
He's
Fucking lips.
he's
Blah, 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 blah.
I thought you meant you could hear Brody. I was like, yeah, he's old. He's
No.
he's doing old dog gonna die soon stuff. It's real sad.
Now
Oh,
it's just made you
Jesus.
sad for no reason.
God damn it. Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys. I mean, I kind of got the gist of it through your answers. How we've never discussed Stranger Things amongst ourselves. But now that I know that we all generally seem to like it, you know, I'm sure there are things we disliked in each season. But I too, as your description of it, Scott, could not have been more accurate for me. It's like they kind of redo the same thing every season, but they're like, oh, but the bad guy's bigger.
Yeah, like, well, we have a
You know
bigger
what I mean?
we have a bigger budget this season. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like the one thing that really has shined to me is like some of the relationships that have built over the series, like Dustin and Steve.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was fucking incredible.
Yeah. I agree.
But you know, and like one of the greatest joys of that show is just watching a Hopper punch everybody that he can't outsmart in the face for like 3 seasons. It's just he never learns to lie. He just like tries, waits 30 seconds, and just knocks somebody out for yeah. I don't know, man. It's definitely like they're definitely doing the same thing again and again and again.
As long as they can find a fresh way to do it, I'm gonna be okay with it. I gotta be honest.
I mean,
Yeah, and I'm happy to hear that like it's some of it is taking place in Russia because like all the spots with like, all right, let's be honest, the way that they like caricaturize Russians is probably racist, but it's hilarious. So I'm totally okay with it.
I don't know, man.
So, like,
Alexi was best boy.
Alexi was that boy. That was my honey baby.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Lexi.
Now we're all sad.
Rip.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole for a show that's literally built on like nudging you with the fucking nostalgia stick constantly. I can't fault a show built off of those fucking structures for going back and kind of doing the same story over and over again and just kind of changing it a little bit. It's like a fucking nostalgia-ception on that show. I will agree with Scott. I think one of the most enjoyable things for me is the relationships between a lot of the characters. And I normally hate kid actors, and almost universally, and almost everything. And it's not like anything against kids. They're usually not good fucking actors.
You don't love Jake Lloyd's portrayal of Anakin Skywalker?
That's a whole bag of fucking worms. That's a whole bag of midichlorians that I'm not trying to get into right now.
I think he was actually arrested for having a bag of methamphetamines, Chris, not midichlorians.
Also a true story. That guy's life is over.
Please let it be true that the officer that arrested him was a Star Wars fan and was like, his methamphetamine count is off the charts.
Oh no.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, so I like this.
Real Star Wars fans don't believe in methamphetamines, Chris.
Oh, but they might be okay with an M count reference.
Yeah, M count's okay though. Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta talk about that. Okay, I'm also excited about this news, and we're gonna move on.
Can I just say before we do, as soon as I saw I know we're just hinting towards it later in the episode, but as soon as I saw M count, I'm like, they're gonna fucking bring that up. I know it.
Of course,
it was my first thought. I thought of you guys. Just so you know.
That actually warms my heart. Our next piece of news revolves around the triumphant return, well, hopefully triumphant return of fucking Deadpool 3. There are rumors, they're actually reporting that they are, deadlines, sorry, Justin Kroll is reporting so it's actually somewhat of a legitimate source here, that Ryan Reynolds is coming back for Deadpool 3. Not only are they talking about coming back for Deadpool 3, but that Disney is okay with it remaining an R-rated film, which was the huge concern most people had. It looks like Reynolds and Disney have tapped sisters Wendy and Lizzie Molyneux to write Deadpool 3. So these two writers are people I've not heard of, but to give everyone a heads up, they are people who have worked on Bob's Burgers for several years now, and they have a new series coming out called The Great North on Fox in 2021. Bob's Burgers alone is enough to make me go, oh, okay, so they're funny, because I love that fucking show.
Yeah.
This presumably means Deadpool is going to be integrated into the MCU, and I think one, there's a fantastically huge opportunity here for this movie to just fuck with everybody in the MCU in the best way possible for all the crossover and studio deals that have gone down. And I'm pretty fucking excited about it. And I'm pretty sure Scott is too. And based off of that, and once again, nothing else, I'd like you to go. Tell me how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ryan Reynolds coming back is a no-brainer. There is no Deadpool without Ryan Reynolds, obviously. Having him executive produce just makes sense.
And also, what a handsome man.
Yeah, really.
Great to look at.
Just
He's got the gray. He's got the grays coming in. He might need to hop in the glory hole line behind Timothy Olyphant.
He's behind Tim though. He's definitely.
Well, then so it's Tim.
Tim.
I'm
John
sorry to
Stewart.
cut you off, but we really this is very important that we settle the order of these gentlemen coming up for their dicks to get blown.
You can just drill more holes in the wall.
That's true.
Oh, holy shit!
There are three of us. Have you
guys never watched Tool Time? You guys never seen Tim the Toolman Taylor?
I didn't want to take liberties with your mouth, Scott. Okay, I was trying to be accepting.
Please never say that again.
Oh my god! All right, fine. I didn't want to tell you how to use your fuckhole. How's that?
That's not what it's called.
In this instance, it might be.
I hate this so much.
Does that mean we're cutting in the future? Is there no more glory hole bits coming in future episodes? Don't tell me that. That's all I look forward to.
I look forward to it every week. What new graying actor we're gonna go down on? It's my favorite thing to discuss with you guys. Fuck all this nerd shit, right? Whose dick you guys want to suck?
I feel like Ryan's really good at manscaping, right? So I'll take the balls.
He probably got creative with it. He probably does like an exclamation point, right? Just like a strip with a dot.
Blake Lively's got to be in such good hands. You know?
Oh my god.
I love that Derek and I are just deep diving every week on this delicious set of sex. Scott, I'm sorry to interrupt. Where were you?
I don't know.
Oh fuck. Ryan Reynolds is always there is no Deadpool 3 without Ryan Reynolds, I think was the last thing I let you say without interjecting.
Yeah. I don't see them going full on MCU. I think a lot of what made the second one work so well is that he was joking about how they had a bigger budget but still couldn't get any cameos.
Yeah,
I think we may see on a long enough timeline, depending on how the third movie's received and how they can work out a deal. I think we might see Deadpool taking the place of Stan Lee, making an appearance in every movie, dressed up in character as maybe kind of like an homage to Stan, where he's like dressed as Stan, dressed as another character, something along those lines. I don't see him being a larger part of the MCU because he breaks the fourth wall too much, and those movies take themselves really seriously. I think he can coexist in that world and poke fun at it the same way he did, with all the Fox properties.
Yeah,
and I think we might see a cameo here or there, like a short-term cameo from some of the bigger stars. But I don't think it's going to be this big giant, a big giant crossover. I think they're going to be very minimalistic with it, like they have been so far, and kind of keep it its own self-contained little world. Because that's a lot of the charm of it, is that it is the Deadpool show. It's not about who else is in the movie. You know what I mean?
My only hopes and dream is that all my hopes and dreams are that they spend all their CGI money on one sequence where he gets a hold of the fucking time stone or the space stone. I forget which one lets you jump around, and he just teleports and fucks with all the other Marvel characters for just 3 minutes, and that's it.
I mean, he already had Cable's fucking time travel device, so I mean, he could already. Do
that's true. Yeah.
That would make for one hell of an opener if the third would open with him doing what he was doing at the end of the second one, but now he has more properties to fuck with.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Like they make some fourth wall breaking reference to now he's got access to all these other properties, and they just start skipping around fucking with people.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty great.
But we could see, and this is really kind of a long shot, but we know that Loki in the series is going to be being held by what are they called? The fucking
there's people in charge of like the time stream. I forget what their name is.
Yeah, like the time stream force, whatever the fuck.
Time cop. Yeah,
time cops. When we could see something along the lines of that, where it's kind of like a bit where they even poke fun at Loki. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because it is kind of like, it was always a thing in the old Deadpool comics, but he would go into the intergalactic MCU eventually. He became like a space merc. He was riding around on a ship. He was like bounty hunting in space for a long run of comic books. The one that started in 96, I think it went to like 99 or 2000, but there was a good 2-year period of that series where he was in space just fucking off doing his own thing. So I mean, who knows?
Whenever you like say years, like what year a specific comic started and like what it went until, I'm like, I don't have enough knowledge to dispute you, but I'm just like, is there someone out there that's like, fuck this guy, but he's just making this up and just like Googling it right then and there? I'm just gonna trust that you know what you're talking about.
Go ahead and Google it, man. The very first issue of that,
I don't want to break the veil.
The very first issue of that 96 run was Deadpool versus the Abominable Snowman. He makes a Fran Drescher reference and fights like 30 ninjas in it. It was fucking awesome. I remember,
again, you could be making all this shit up, but like with this specific character, I'm like, oh yeah, of course he did. Yeah. There's just no way to dispute it.
I wish that I was just making all that shit up, though, but I was like that good. If I was
start doing it,
if I was that good of a liar, I'd be a mentalist. I'd be like John Edwards telling people like where their dead loved ones are, like he hid all the money or something. I'm not a good liar.
Before I ask Derek for his thoughts, you just brought something to my memory from last week. We have a correction to make. Henry Cavill is not married to Gina Carano, and thank fucking God that's not the case.
Be awful hard for you to corner him and suck his cock if he was, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about, Scott, and I don't appreciate you taking liberties.
I like how when you guys get off on a tangent, you both just like feed each other. When I say something, you both just dead silent, like, what's this guy talking about? Pieces of shit.
Well, you see, when it comes to most movies, you and I are always on the same page, and so I feel like with the, at least with the blowing Silver Fox's joke.
That's our common thread. Yeah.
Well, you realize that you too, Chris, are a silver fox. You gonna suck your own dick?
If I could, Scott.
Confirmed.
Derek, how do you feel about Deadpool 3?
I'm a little worried, to be honest. I think that like with Deadpool in general, the movies themselves, like as a movie that you're watching, but even like the ad campaign behind it, you okay?
No, he's good.
Okay, all right. The ad campaign behind it, it's such a unique experience, and this ability for a character to like break the fourth wall and look right at the camera and say this or that, or like reference shit from like the Logan movie doing better than Deadpool 1. Like it's such a new thing. It's such a unique thing that it's like when you talk about like a new team coming on of writers. After the first two, which both kind of hit it. It's a little scary, but I mean, having Ryan Reynolds as executive producer does kind of ease some of my stress a little bit because this has been his baby since day one.
Right.
Since, what was it called? Wolverine Origins or whatever. He always wanted to do it right, and it's something that he's put a lot of his own money down on.
Yeah, lest we forget, Deadpool 1 was greenlit off of the back of a leaked CGI short that he helped make with his own money that showed off how he wanted Deadpool to look. So absolutely, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so him being there, obviously, producing is comforting, but having a new, doing the shift from Warner Brothers to Disney, having new writers, even though they are, Bob's Burgers is obviously a hilarious show. It's a little concerning. Disney has a lot of rules about things like it's a little concerning, but am I going to go see it? Absolutely. Because I expected the first two to be like, I was kind of on the fence with them. And then I saw them, and both of them I thought were fucking incredible.
Oh, Scott's got something.
One more than two, but why don't you get what you got there? What do you got?
What do you got?
You just know that the intro of that movie is probably gonna be him riding all the theme park rides at Disney World or something. You know what I mean? Like, with the fucking mouse ears on his head. Just like what if they lean into it? You know what I mean? Like
they have to. That's what I mean. It's
you heard it here first. TCN exclusive.
My concern though is that like Disney is so worried about their image, whereas like with Warner Brothers, they gave him a lot of liberties. Like he made fun of fucking or not Warner Brothers. What am I trying
Fox,
to say?
Fox.
Yeah. They let him make fun of his character in a movie that they fucking made.
Yeah.
I don't think Disney's gonna let them do that kind of shit. That's the kind of stuff that concerns me.
I think they're gonna have to. I think like there's definitely be comments about Walt Disney being an anti-Semitic. He's gonna get away with that. That's 100% gonna be in the script.
No way, dude. That's what I mean.
There's the thing is though, like whether it's virtue signaling or not, whether you think that Disney is being disingenuous or being genuine, they have been right. They have been on the side of political correctness for a long time now, and part of that has been them like editing some of their old movies and redoing things, and kind of like they haven't owned up in the way that maybe they should in a lot of cases, but I think they're going to be in a position where they're going to read a script and know that they can't like skip out. I mean, they can't fucking bitch out on acknowledging what is part of their past. I mean, like I'm not saying necessarily that that's going to be a giant bit, but I think anything that they write that is in that script that's going to kill, they're going to have to just let them do it. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I kind of feel like they would let them do it too. And my reasoning, my mental gymnastics, at least, to make me think that this is actually true, is like they know what Deadpool 1 and 2 were. So if they were okay with greenlighting it, and Ryan Reynolds is okay with maybe any rules they gave him, then I feel like it's gotta be like that, you know? Because I just feel like maybe he'll let me down. Who fucking knows? But I feel like Ryan Reynolds wouldn't be attached to the project if they weren't going to let him do it his way. So I just kind of feel like I'm not worried about it. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm always optimistic, so it might be dog shit. Who fucking knows?
The other thing is, I'm not saying that just, you know, if Disney doesn't allow them to make jokes making fun of Disney, that doesn't mean the movie's automatically going to be bad.
yeah,
Right.
I just liked the freedom of the first two. So I'm hoping that they give them that same kind of freedom. Correct me if I'm wrong. Deadpool 1 was the highest grossing R-rated movie until Logan, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't think 2 beat out Logan. But I mean, in any event, like that has to be some kind of like sign for them. Like maybe we should just let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I'm kind of like back and forth. Like on one hand, of course, the money's there and their ability to make a movie is there because they've done it already.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping that Disney gives them that leeway that Fox gave them. That's basically it.
Me too.
I mean, I think what we're going to see is with a lot of these R-rated properties that they've acquired, they can't keep the squeaky clean family image perpetuating. You know what I mean? Like you can't make a Predator that's not rated R. Like there's a new Predator being penned currently that's supposed to come out sometime in 2022.
Right.
Or supposed to start shooting in 2021 or something along those lines. They have a whole slew. Like they're, you know, they own the properties to half of the fucking world now, and we can't expect all those things to be the same rose-colored lenses that movies like The Lion King and Pocahontas are. And I think we're going to see them diversifying their content a lot more because they're not going to have any choice but to. They're not going to be able to keep these franchises they pay all this money afloat for if they take away all the things that made them charming and endearing and like built the fan base. You know, we saw it with Star Wars. We saw them strip down a lot of what made Star Wars special and essentially make carbon copies. And the fan outrage is like it's the backlash is bigger than anything we've ever seen in response to a fucking movie before. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But the issue there is when you have a franchise that's big enough, no matter how you look at the Star Wars and the sequel trilogy and how people generally really don't like it, those movies were successful. Like they made their money a thousandfold. So, I mean, like sometimes you can get a franchise that's such a golden goose that it's like, you can do whatever the fuck you want and people are going to show up. I mean, people hated The Last Jedi and they still went and saw Rise of Skywalker. I did. I mean, you have to. You're a Star Wars fan. They know that. They know that they have that power over you.
Right.
So it almost doesn't matter what as long as they put the smallest amount of effort in, people show up.
Yeah. I agree with you. But I think like Star Wars is one of those rare franchises where like it has that fan base that even the fans that hate it are undyingly loyal to their hatred of it. You know what I mean? Like people who've hated the prequel trilogies for 10, 15 years now love those movies but hate the sequel trilogy. It's just like it's, you know what I mean? But when you look at Predator doesn't have that kind of built-in fan base. You know what I mean? Like
I see what you're saying. So why would they buy it with that? Yeah, I get it.
Right. But it's also like if they make one more bad Predator, you know what I mean? How many times are people going to show up for a Predator when the one before it sucked? You know what I mean? Like
I agree. Like, the amount of like of give that people will allow for like a shitty Predator movie, I think it's a much smaller.
The amount of shit people will give for a Predator movie at all is exponentially lower.
Or the amount of shit they'll take.
Yeah, like I mean, Olivia Munn is just wonderful. I love her in almost anything, but the amount of Fox stinkers they've thrown her in the last 5 years is criminal. That poor fucking girl should be in a triple A lister, and between fucking what is it? Fucking Apocalypse, Age of Apocalypse, and Predator, the Predator. Her career is the Titanic right now.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for those giant titties, it would be sinking all the way. You know what I mean? Like,
she is beautiful, but her eyes are too far apart. It makes me feel like I'm looking at one of those images where you have to cross your eyes a little bit. That's how I always feel when I look at her. She's wonderful. I'm not saying she's beautiful, but there's something with the eyes.
Your eyes are too far apart.
Yeah, maybe it's your eyes. Maybe yours are too close together, so hers look far apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why she has horse eyes on the side of her head.
No! Did you ever see Magic Mike before?
No,
I haven't seen Magic Mike.
All right, well,
but now I'm going.
I'm sorry I had a girlfriend in 2014. You fucking virgins. No. I mean, clearly, you both do all the coombs. But
all of them,
all the coombs. But there's
account for a lot of coombs.
There's a scene in the beginning of Magic Mike where like she's just topless, and it's almost like the director was like, "Hey man, girlfriend brought you, have some titties." Well, take some.
I didn't know that. Now I'm gonna watch it.
Take some titties. Sorry about all the dicks. You know, like it's like that's how.
And I'm gonna stick around for the dicks too. I'm not just gonna stick around. I'm not gonna like see Olivia Munn's tits and then leave.
Nah, not me. None of them are silver foxes. I'm not interested.
That's only because Matthew. That's only because Matthew McConaughey dyes his hair, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice. I didn't need to know that fact.
I just made it up. I did that thing that Derek said I should do more.
Right before we cycle off of Deadpool 3, because holy shit, how did we get here? So the director is currently unknown. Tim Miller directed the first one. David Leitch directed the second one. David Leitch then went on to direct, I think, the third John Wick film, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. I often am. But he did a good job with the action in the John Wick films. We don't know at this time if he'll be back to do Deadpool 3. He's actually fairly in high demand now because he's been doing good action flicks. So
he originally was a stunt director who turned director.
That's right. And with the first one, the first director, Tim Miller, was a VFX artist who turned director for the first film. So, fuck it. Good on them. Before we get... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just like to say that whatever Fox / Disney does, I hope they keep these movies going because it's all TJ Miller has left.
Yeah. Didn't he leave?
Fuck, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he left Silicon Valley to do the Emoji Movie. You fucking moron.
Is that a real story? Oh my god.
Did your oh my god.
Yeah, that guy needs a better agent. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He really did.
If I was his agent, I would have had him committed.
Yeah.
You think about this for 30 days and you get back to me.
Didn't he get into some deep water? What did he do?
He did, and I don't remember what it was.
Me neither.
But it was...
He probably farted on a crowded bus or something. Cancel! No, I'm gonna Google it right. I'm gonna Google it right now because it's probably something terrible.
Yeah, you're gonna feel real bad if you do
I'm pretty sure it was pretty bad.
TJ Miller canceled.
Oh, this is good.
What do we got? Drum roll. I'll insert a drum roll right here.
Our correspondent Scott in the field. Scott, tell us what's going on with TJ
Miller. He looks stupid.
Thanks, and back to you, Derek.
He looks like the kind of guy that would smoke spice incense to get high back in like 2012.
He definitely wore a shell necklace.
Yeah,
sure. He's been to a couple Sublime concerts.
Yeah, he had mad sick pooks.
Was it Sublime or Real Big Fish? Both.
Okay, so sexual assault allegations.
Oh boy, you got Me Too'd, huh?
He referred to his accuser as a stalker from college with mental health issues.
Okay.
Who believed his wife had stolen her life. Imagine that being an action movie where like your life was stolen by the poor bitch who's married to TJ Miller. You know what I mean? Like it's like double.
Oh no!
It's like hasn't she had enough?
Yeah, it's like the sixth. It's like the sixth day where you're like, thank God I'm the clone. Fuck. Gotta suck that guy's dick with his crimped curly pubic hair. Fucking piece of shit. Fuck TJ Miller.
It smells like blacklight posters and incense down here. I just want to get away.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy. He's the kind of guy who uses hair gel in his pubes because he thinks it's fancy. That's the kind of guy. TJ Miller's the kind of guy who made all that money and still buys all your birthday and Christmas presents at Spencer's Gifts. That's who TJ Miller is. Piece of shit. We've lost so many good ones this year, and we still have TJ Miller. Darkest timeline, dumbest timeline,
darkest fucking timeline for sure. We have one final topic to go into before we get to our main topics this week.
We are flying
And that
through this
is-
week. Look at us.
We're making pretty good
We're
time.
getting better at this.
Yeah, we are getting better at this. We're getting better at not going off onto rants.
I don't know, man. I was talking about how TJ Mill can go fuck himself for like 5 minutes.
I mean,
I stand by it though. I think that's
It's
important.
a worthwhile rant. That's
yeah,
a good.
it's
you know,
important. Need to know
absolutely.
information. The fans, the friends we made along the way so far, all 60 of you need to know what we think about TJ Miller.
Episode 9, get fucked, TJ Miller.
Yeah. Or just like TJ Miller,
Ooh.
don't listen. Just like that, just in case he comes in. We don't want you here.
TJ Filler,
You're right.
Oh, got him. As in,
as in he could be standing for any other white man that's kind of funny, but not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not going so hard at TJ Miller. I'm sorry.
At least it's not a whole swath of like people into one specific thing or like, you know.
I mean, TJ Miller
like,
fans
We're
are
not
all
doing like furries or anime weebs or anything. It's just TJ Miller.
Well, if there's
It's
any
one person we're talking about.
if there's any anime weebs or furries left still listening to this podcast at this point, they are like masochists. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, what
I
if they
mean-
listen to this and jerk off? You ever think about that?
Like their butt plug has a knife on it.
Oh no!
Chris takes away. Take us out of here.
Oh no!
Oh, is that
can't.
is that gross, guys? Is that weird?
Oh no!
What's it like to be uncomfortable and just laugh it out of it, laugh your way through it?
Is this how you feel every time we talk about slobbing on silver hogs?
No, I just have nothing to add to the conversation.
Slobbing on silver hogs. Sounds like an 80s cock rock song, doesn't it? Like something Motley Crue would play.
Yeah.
Slobbing on silver.
Slamming out silver knobs. I feel like that is definitely was that Panther band's Steel Panther? It's definitely-
Oh, Steel Panther.
It's got to be a Steel Panther song. If not, you should write them the
Episode
lyrics and
9,
mail them. to them.
slobbing on silver knobs.
Yeah.
Our last topic for the week is related to our two primary topics this week. It's about Star Wars. And there's a new book coming out called The Star Wars Archives, 1995 through 2005. The author of which is, his name is, I'm fucking bad right now. Tashin, I literally just had it in front of me. His last name is Tashin. The book is coming out December 13th, 2020. And there are a lot of great pieces of information coming out of it. He's had a lot of direct conversations with George Lucas. We've learned two things. One of them makes me very sad because it didn't happen. And the other one is just an interesting piece of news. So we'll start off with the interesting piece of news and then lament the first piece of news. So the initial one is that when Lucas told 20th Century Fox he was making the story of how Anakin becomes Vader, they were as excited as anyone else. And then he dropped the fucking bomb on them that Anakin would be 10 years old in the first film. And 20th Century Fox freaked the fuck out and said, "You're going to ruin the franchise. You're going to destroy everything." They told him he was making a film no one wanted to see. And then George Lucas said he would rather do something, rather do that than tell the same story over and over. And, to be fair, he still made a billion fucking dollars. So, like, how do you guys feel about that piece of news before we get on to the one that makes me uber sad? Scott, we'll have you go first.
I mean, as fascinating as the intricacies of intergalactic trade law are, I could have done without
Trade
that.
disputes.
Sorry. Well, I mean, same fucking, like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Mine is a little long-winded, to be honest with you. But I agree with that, like, wholeheartedly. I think one of the great things about the Star Wars movies was that someone was there to rein Lucas in on the original trilogy and let him know when his ideas were a little over the top. I mean, he had Spielberg riding shotgun for Empire, which is one of the best ones, if not the best Star Wars movie ever made. As well as A New Hope. Now, with Jedi, Spielberg was off doing his Indiana Jones shit for a decent part of it, like pre-production and things like that, from my understanding. I don't have a timeline in front of me, but that's why it gets kind of goofy with Jedi, with all the whole Ewok thing kind of going off on a tangent, you know what I mean? It kind of changes tonally after Jabba's Palace entirely. A lot of that was in part to him just kind of, just doing what he does, just creating, but not having a larger vision for it, maybe, for that specific movie. With the original trilogy, we see that, you know what I mean? Like, it could have been about Vader's rise to the dark side or rise and fall to the dark side, but it should have been Obi-Wan's trilogy. It should have been the story of this Jedi Master training a Padawan, and it should have been about, the ultimate failure, or what he considered to be the ultimate failure of Obi-Wan. Like, that to me would have been a much more interesting story. We don't need to see Jake Lloyd in a Naboo fighter fighting in space. The pod racing was cool because it gave us the N64 game
Yeah, pod racing was sick, and that game was legit.
Yeah, that game was fucking sick. But like, we didn't need, like, I think the biggest issue with Jake Lloyd was that he was a terrible actor, obviously. But he was fucking 10 years old, and the script shouldn't have put so much weight on him and had him, like carry attempt to carry the emotional weight of the movie in so many scenes where like this kid like he looks like he's lucky he can tie his fucking shoes. You want him to like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
And he needs to tie his own shoes because sand gets everywhere.
Yeah,
no.
I got a snort out of Derek. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I mean, before I have Derek go, all I would say is the most important thing that we could have lost to time had they not started off with Anakin being 10 is the real creepy scene where you realize that Anakin's like 8 or 9 and Padme's like 14 or 15. And you're like, oh, okay. I don't need this weird scene in Watto's shop where he's like making her a little angel necklace, and it's just creepy.
He's just trying to fuck, bro.
We know you guys are gonna fuck, but the age difference at this age is way too creepy. So like, please just scooch it along a bit.
I feel like they spent too much time on trade disputes and not enough time on what the legal age of consent was on Tatooine.
Very important.
So lawless hellscape.
That's true. How do you feel about this particular tidbit? It's not really news. It's more like it's just like a nice little behind the scenes conversation that happened.
So this isn't the first time this has happened, and it's embarrassing. I missed this in the doc, so I'm trying to read it.
Oh, okay.
Live here.
We're literally all the important shit is in what I said earlier. Like,
right. So we're talking about basically like revealing that the studio was not behind what George Lucas was.
Yeah, they thought he was going to ruin the fucking franchise by starting off with Anakin being 10 years old.
I never minded that. I mean, it wasn't done well. Jake Lloyd was not the right actor to pick for that. People gave him way more shit than he deserved for being a 10-year-old, which is a discussion for another time. But I never really minded. People were like, "Oh, we don't need to see Vader as a kid." I don't mind that as a concept. It was just the execution of it. I'm one of these people that like I hated the prequels when they came out, and I hated them for years after that. And now, for whatever reason, I go back and watch them, and I actually find that there are a lot of things about them that I like. That being said, Episode 1, there's not a whole lot to like in that.
No, almost everyone skips one besides Darth Maul, the Maul fight. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Well, that's the second part of
he's like one of the very
Duel of the Fates.
That was good.
Yeah, Duel of the Fates is my favorite piece of Star Wars music ever.
Yeah,
it also, really is. Like that moment is so pivotal.
Character. I just loved Qui-Gon as a character.
Qui-Gon,
yeah.
People really blow him up, and I don't get why. That's another thing. Like people like, oh, Episode 1 sucks, but Qui-Gon was great. I'm like, all right, so you like Liam Neeson is all you're saying. He's the same actor in every movie that he's in.
Well, no,
like new character.
Qui-Gon was not supposed to train Anakin and did anyway. He kind of like was a rebel. I'm not like one of the first rebels in the sense that he kind of like did his own thing. He didn't follow the Council's rule of law.
Right.
He was like, he wasn't a great Jedi.
He was a great, wasn't he though? I thought that was like written in somewhere that he was an actual great.
I mean, like there's never been like confirmed in canon that they exist, but he's as close as we've gotten to a visual representation of a great Jedi on screen.
Yeah. Mostly because I don't think great Jedi would ever be a term used in the Star Wars universe. So like, it's just kind of like, that's how we talk about him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Just us thirsty nerds hungry for info.
Thirsty nerds.
That's exactly how we feel about Gray. We've talked about it a couple times.
Bringing it back.
No, but like that, like the prequels. I mean, like I honestly think Duel of the Fates, that battle with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul is one of the best scenes in all of Star Wars. Like that entire fight. Like obviously it's cutting around a lot. We're getting cuts to Jake Lloyd in space. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? But that right there, like that right there was essentially the battle for the soul of Anakin happening on those fucking pillars. Like, I mean, it was insane because you're watching like Qui-Gon, who's this guy who's gonna train Anakin his own way, has his own plan. He's not gonna be raised in this totalitarian environment where he has to follow the rule of law and can't fall in love, can't access his emotions. You know what I mean? Like, it's no wonder that Anakin became the person he was, being raised in those conditions. He suppressed everything that would have made him human, and then, lost control of his emotions with no one to talk to about.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was like the way they named that song, "Duel of the Fates." It's literally about like what the two end games could be for this universe, and how this moment right here decides what is going to happen forever in the entire canon of Star Wars. And I always thought that was a really fucking cool thing that they did there. I thought it was like, that was one thing that Lucas really fucking nailed. It's just the casting of Hayden Christensen was not strong. The casting of Jake Lloyd was not strong. I feel like everyone else did a pretty believable job, even talking to fucking CGI monsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone was more believable than Hayden Christensen was talking to a real person. And it's just that was the shame of it. I don't know how Lucas got the casting so wrong when he got it so perfect the first time around.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when I'm saying, like, when I go back and watch it now and find that there are things that I like about it, what you're saying is kind of my point. And I feel like most people feel this way about it and they just don't realize it because the dialogue is so laughable. But that's the point. The writing, the actual like screenplay is bad. I mean, there's no way around that. The dialogue is unbelievable and terrible. But if you look at the actual like flow of the way that everything happens, it makes perfect sense. And it's a great story. Like if it were to be told to you in better words with better dialogue, it would be incredible. It's totally believable to me how you go from this innocent young kid into, basically him turning into Vader at the end of episode 3. Like everybody fucking lies to him. Everybody uses him. He's been like gaslit and manipulated since he was 10. Even his mom was just basically like, all right, yeah, you can go, get out. Obviously she wanted a better life for him. But the point is, like, every connection that he has with anyone he ever comes across, they just use him. So like, it makes perfect sense how someone like, going through that could turn into a fascist fucking dictator in the original trilogy. So I think like that's, I'm wrapping it up. Basically, like, that's it. Like, the dialogue is bad, but the flow of the characters, them being where they are, when they are, it all makes perfect sense, actually.
No, I agree. And I didn't necessarily plan, although I guess I should have, for us this to turn into like a shilling for the prequels in some sense about like how they're better than you remember them. The fact of the matter is they were pretty bad, and the dialogue is really bad, and Lucas is not good at writing dialogue, and it's one of his biggest weaknesses. I think one of the reasons the original trilogy did so well is because he had another voice to bounce off of. He had Irvin Kershner, he had these other directors to work with that kind of were like tempered him a little bit. It's one of the reasons Empire Strikes Back was so great. He wasn't the director, right? He was Kershner was. But without repeating basically all the same points that Derek just said, I think one of the reasons I'm able to look back at them with so much less hatred than I had back then was because if you realize what he's going for, it makes you appreciate the arc and the flow, like you said, of those characters a lot more. Like you said, I mean, yeah. Totally. And then in years since, we've had Clone Wars and these things that help to flesh out their characters. If you've seen them in ways that make it even more believable, Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship is wonderful in the Clone Wars. And Scott, I know you just started watching it, and again, can't stress it enough. I mean, it's a great show. But that leads me to my next point, and I agree, there's been huge speculation. It's pretty much like an understood point among Star Wars diehards that had Qui-Gon lived, Anakin would have turned out fine. But because he was trained under the tutelage of Obi-Wan, who still love him, was much more strict to the current Jedi code, which was very totalitarian, very, very strict, even in their own sense of like no love, no compassion, and had kind of, because of the Jedi Council, they put themselves in this bubble to where they couldn't even sense the evil that was coming their way. It's really what turned him down this path, and it ultimately ended up with him becoming Darth Vader. And it kind of goes into the other point, the other reveal from this book, which was that originally Lucas was going to have Maul be the villain over the course of all 3 of the prequel films. And I think the fact that he got killed off was the single biggest fucking mistake that movie made. Sure, Jar Jar's a racist stereotype.
They've been retconning it ever since.
And well, that's because everyone understood immediately that they fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, the whole problem with the prequel trilogy is that Palpatine's the shadow guy, but there needs to be a villain that grows alongside the the protagonists. You need to have an antagonist, much like the original trilogy, where Darth Vader is facing off against Luke, and you get multiple interactions throughout the trilogy where both characters and their interactions together are so much expanded upon. You just don't get that in the prequel trilogy because it's action figure villain after action figure villain. Yeah. And
no one likes Count Dooku.
Right. Fuck Count Dooku. Again, his story makes sense if you read all the extra shit, but like Count Dooku, General Grievous, like get fucked. Like we should have had Maul, and we should have had them have multiple confrontations, and it would have made the ultimate battles with Obi-Wan and Darth Maul so much more meaningful. And there are literally videos, I'm almost done ranting, on the internet about how the prequel trilogy should have gone had Maul not been killed. And they're fucking great. And I think it's the single biggest fucking mistake in the entire prequel trilogy was that Maul was killed off.
That and there's a lot of pacing issues too. Like we get all these extra, we get like a 30-minute pod racing segment, and we get 20 minutes of Anakin in space in episode 1 for that nobody asked for really. But then in Revenge of the Sith, Padme gives birth and dies, and Anakin turns to the dark side in 20 minutes. Kills Mace Windu, and everything just happens like it's a lightning. Yeah. It's like a lightning round, and it's like, dude, like had we not spent the entire second movie doing a love story that like it is important, but you can tell that story in the heat of battle. You can tell that story in a lot of different ways where it's not just hyper focused, taking an hour of screen time that can be used to develop all the characters together or all the relationships or the stakes in this world. So to me, it was pacing in every single movie. But again, there are things that every movie did extremely well, and like that I found to be like really entertaining and charming when I go back and watch them.
Yeah,
I think that Lucas is really bad at directing scenes of dialogue, period. And I think that he's especially bad when it's one-on-one. And so what we had in episode 3 was a lot of Anakin and Palpatine, and a lot of those scenes that were supposed to like really get you to understand why he took this final descent into being Vader were just boring as fuck. I think that really when you go back and you watch the original trilogy, you find that a lot of those flaws that people hold the prequel trilogy accountable for, those things exist in the original trilogy too. Yeah. We're just weighing it against a different time period, so it's a little more palatable. Whereas in more modern day, that kind of shit you can't get away with.
Right.
So that being, I think like there are things he's good at and there are things he's really bad at, and so like those heavy dialogue scenes just didn't fully show us that final crash into just letting go of Anakin and becoming Vader. But again, like I said, I mean, all cards on the table at the end of the day. I enjoy them a lot more now because I think the actual ebb and flow of the story makes total sense.
Fair. I agree. That's the end of Week in Review. Derek, do you have to take a pee-pee?
I do, actually. Yeah, thank you for asking.
I feel like Robert Downey Jr. in that Due Date movie.
Yeah, okay.
What, you gotta take a pee-pee? Yes!
You want to? I'll take... Yeah, show for all our stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a lovely time to say, hey, guys, we're The Cynical Nerd. And if you want to find us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/The Cynical Nerd. You can catch us on Twitter at The Schmeg Nerd. If you want to ask us questions, you can do #AskTCN. Or if we fuck something up, corrections, anything, the Gina Carano, Henry Cavill thing is a perfect example. #FuckTCN. We had our first question 2 weeks ago. We watched The Lighthouse. I watched The Lighthouse solely because of it. And, that's
I do have another retraction.
Okay.
On one episode we had talked about the Mandalorian, or we were talking about the Mandalorian, and we had said something about Obi-Wan potentially being alive on Tatooine. Obi-Wan has been dead for about 15 to 20 years at this point in time, I think.
Oh yeah, that was fucking dumb. That was me that said that.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna call you out on it. I was just gonna say that we had that we had made a mistake. All of us had made a mistake, and that I was gonna correct it. We know.
I appreciate you trying to share that burden with me. It was definitely all my dumb fucking brain. Like 100% me. Yeah, I mean, clearly, it's weird because they talk about how newcomers to the Star Wars universe might be confused by timelines. Hey, it gets us sometimes too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are people who still insist that this baby Yoda is actually Yoda, even though he's been dead for 15 years or 10 years at this point in time.
Yeah, something like that, right? I mean, this takes place 5 years
after Jedi?
Probably 6 at this point. Yeah, season 2 started.
Yeah. I mean, we're somewhere between 5 and 10 years after the Battle of Endor, which means Yoda would have been dead for at least a little bit before that. I don't know if it was a matter of days or weeks. I don't know how long the events of Return of the Jedi take place over, if I'm being honest.
Right.
That was fucked up though, right? Luke shows up, watches his homie die, and then just bounces. Can you imagine if you came to my house to hang out and I just died on the sofa and vanished in front of you? How the fuck would you explain that to everyone else that knew us?
Well, the good thing about Yoda is he's been living alone the entire time. So the moral of the story
that just makes it real sad. He died of seasonal depression. That makes it even worse.
Seasonal depression,
dude.
Yoda's on his deathbed. He's like, always swampy on Dagobah. It is sad, am I?
That's what's gonna happen one day, guys. I'm just gonna lay down under my giant down comforter and vanish like Yoda. Seasonal effective got him. He's gone.
Welcome back, Derek.
Actually, never mind.
You're gonna say something awful. Oh yeah. So I wanted to talk to you. How much time? We have a lot of time left, right? We usually go till.
Yeah, we're okay.
We got like an hour and 15, right? Till we have to usually stop.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hate to do this, guys, but we had a conversation earlier today about everyone who we've lost in 2020, right?
Okay.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Chadwick Boseman, Alex Trebek. Who else? Help me out here. Anybody?
Sean Connery.
Regis Philbin. Peter Green, which I know a lot of you guys out there are fake Fleetwood Mac fans because somebody rode a skateboard at one point in time. But he was the bass player, for those of you who don't know. He was a songwriter, guitarist. He's a great guy, I would assume. I didn't meet him. He was 73 when he died. We didn't have a lot in common. But my point is we've lost a lot of good ones, but we've also lost a lot of shitty ones. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not this year specifically.
You don't hear about this enough.
Yeah. But like for every celebrity that's passed away that we're like we God, I'm still getting over Carrie Fisher. You know what I mean? But but also like John Lennon's dead, so that's great.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, honestly. Really. Like for every celebrity we've lost that we all miss dearly, there's one that it's probably for the best that they're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine what an unbearable cunt John Lennon would be with social media if he was alive today? John Lennon was Kanye West before Kanye West was born. John Lennon is Kanye West for white people. He is fucking awful.
I always think about shit like this, and it's really fucked up to think about, but all right, Kurt Cobain, what happened to him is obviously a tragedy. I'm not going to touch on that not being a tragedy. It is, okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But let's just imagine an alternate timeline where he didn't do it, right?
Okay.
He's alive. He's here.
He toured with Green Day. Oh!
And he's doing the halftime at the Super Bowl. He's playing covering Lenny Kravitz. He's overweight. Oh, God. I'm not saying I'm happy he's gone, but
better that than the Elvis death though. Bloated on the toilet.
Sure.
The bloated on the toilet death is the worst way to go.
You know what I mean? Elvis Presley.
Yeah, the 27 Club's a way better way to go than that, bro. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
That's not even a joke. That's just a sad reality.
Yeah. It's another cool thing. I'm also glad Elvis is dead. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
I wish we could bring him back just so I could clog his arteries again and so he could die all over again.
Yeah, really. Really though. Can you imagine him talking to his black friends hey man, that thing you're doing is pretty cool. You mind if I do that? Yeah, man, go ahead. You're gonna give us credit for it though, right? Yeah. And then he's the fucking king of rock and roll. Yeah. Fuck you.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll write you in there somewhere.
Yeah. I'll tell everybody where I learned it. You know what I mean? You fucking.
He's like, show me how to play that riff you just played, and the guy's like, nah, man, I don't know about that.
Elvis is the pinnacle of cultural appropriation, and I'm glad he's dead. But also, I'm glad the last 10 years of his life were excruciating and that he hated himself as much as I hate him. Nobody.
The worst thing is someone showed him that riff and he's like, yeah, I think that's mine now. Get out of my fucking house.
It's that fucking gift. It's like, you made this? I made this.
Yeah.
He just fucking takes it.
Piece of shit. Nobody who's eating fried banana and bacon and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches has any self-love for themselves. In some cases, that's unfortunate. In some cases, you should talk to somebody like a loved one or a therapist. You should get some help. Maybe I don't know. Maybe go grocery shopping. Buy some real fucking food. Unless you're Elvis Presley, in which case you didn't die half as fast as you deserve. You piece of Richie Valens doesn't get to land the plane, but you do. Fuck you, Elvis.
If you have anything in common with Elvis, you should not take heart medication. You should just keep eating the bacon, high sodium, high fat.
Keto is the path for you if you are,
Can we start
There's really enough people like you out there. So you can die of heart failure.
Can we start spreading fake news that Bayer is the Slayer? Just don't take Bayer, it will kill you.
I feel like with that kind of a great catchphrase, everyone on Parler would believe that the second you posted it.
I'm ready to believe, Scott. Okay.
I
have to ask, where did this topic spring from? What?
I was just thinking about what a cunt John Lennon is.
I was going to say, I know it's that someone just mentioned John Lennon earlier, and you've been stewing since then.
He's just been sitting.
I fucking hate him.
Angry about it.
Because think about he is the Kanye West before Kanye West was born. His album cover was him and his girlfriend that nobody fucking liked naked, the Ballad of
She's
John and Yoko, and now this bitch goes around doing art performances where she just makes the sounds that seagulls make when they're starving to death in a Wendy's parking lot, and it's high art. Fuck you.
Yeah, she's a millionaire. It's not right.
Yeah.
It's crazy that the guy that shot John Lennon just wouldn't shoot her too. You know what I mean? Like, did you only have one bullet? You could have just gone in the apartment. It's right up there.
I feel
Jesus
like I also feel like if he would have shot her and let John Lennon live, it almost would have been better. You know what I mean?
Clearly the CIA didn't pay the guy enough to kill both of them, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
What's that fucking conspiracy theory?
I don't know. I don't know.
Really
I don't watch InfoWars, bro. I don't know.
There is a conspiracy theory,
There
right?
is,
That they paid him because he was doing like anti-war protests or something.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
And he like basically had everyone's ear, and he was saying like messages of peace while he was going home and beating his girlfriend. And
Yeah,
shit. But,
I feel like it's more likely that someone just fucking couldn't stand him because he was an obnoxious prick and they killed him.
Yeah, because to all you conspiracy theorists out there, the world's actually is that boring. All your conspiracy theorists,
I don't know, man. JFK was definitely assassinated
by John Lennon because he's a piece of shit.
You heard it here first, boys. Okay.
I like how I didn't even make that a statement you could argue with. I just stated a fact that you were like,
yeah. I was like, you can't say anything.
But I said it like I was arguing something ridiculous that you would have to defend. Yeah,
that's the way to start any fucking point. Like, I want you to say anything ridiculous from now on in that manner. So we're forced to like defend something that even you can't back up. Like that's what you have to do to beat people in arguments. Is you have to put the onus on the other person, even though you're making the ridiculous claim.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's 2020, baby.
Yeah. Our main topics this week are both Star Wars related. I'm not. Okay, I was gonna make general thoughts on both up front. I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna talk about The Mandalorian first. So The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 4 came out this week. We're gonna do general thoughts on it. I went first last week because I was slobbing the knob of that fucking episode, just like Timothy Oliphant's knob. I'm not gonna go first this week. I want Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Scott to go first and tell me how you felt about it.
I mean, it was fun. It was a good time. You know, it had a lot of the great action set pieces that Star Wars movies are known for. I mean, Baby Yoda is always adorable.
Dude, so adorable.
Yeah. It was kind of cool seeing the gang back together again. Even, you know, what's her face?
Was it though?
Gina Carano.
I gotta tell you, it was difficult a little bit to like. I wasn't like turn it off, but I was like, just knowing how much.
See how
shitty her thoughts are.
That's my thing. I was actively annoyed by seeing her too, but it made me mad at myself because everything is so politicized and polarized that I can't even enjoy a fucking show without worrying about what someone whose opinions I don't give a fuck about said on the internet.
That's a good way to put it.
And it makes me frustrated at myself, but also at her. Like, again, freedom of speech is great. You should be able to say whatever the fuck you want, but notwithstanding repercussions, obviously. But at the same time, couldn't you just shut the fuck up and make your money so I can enjoy you and enjoy the show that I've genuinely really been enjoying so far?
I kept waiting for her to make some joke about, making some comment about how the Rhodian kids don't have their own bathrooms or something really fucked up like that. Like something really terrible. Oof. Because, you know, I don't know. She has got garbage thoughts. But you're right. I should be able to separate that out. And I didn't.
I mean, I'll put it this way.
Everyone's character is well written in the show.
Yeah. But
and it's small enough. I mean, like I said, like it's not like she's the main character, right? You just have to deal with an episode every here and there where she's featured for, a maximum of 5 minutes of screen time.
That's true.
I'm gonna put it this way, okay? Fucking everybody knew that Michael Jackson was molesting kids for like 20 years, and you motherfuckers still listen to Thriller at Halloween. Don't act like you don't. Everyone knew that R. Kelly pissed on some girl's face. This is like Chappelle's show skits.
That's true.
It's fucking 15 years old now. But you still bump Shut Up, don't you? Don't you?
Yeah. You too.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, it's one of those things where like...
I bump Thriller, but I don't think Michael Jackson molested any kids. This feels like a conversation for another time, but I don't think he did.
Really? I don't know why. That'd be a weird debate, but I think we're going to do it at some point. Weird topic for cynical
Michael
nerd.
Jackson a kid diddler?
Yeah.
I feel like that's outside of our wheelhouse. Maybe we should just
That's bonus content, baby.
But also, like, my main argument is look at him! Just look at him! Of course he did!
Diddler court.
Yeah, an entire Bono episode where we discussed who was
And who
and
wasn't
who
a
does not. Welcome to Diddler Court. Anyway.
Judge Derek presiding.
I feel like we would have to take turns. Like one person would have to be the judge and be like the deciding person of whether or not that person was guilty, and the other two would have to be the attorneys. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
The judge has to wear the stupid the white
wig
curled.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel like it can't. I feel like it can't just be about diddlers. It has to be like a wider scope of like anytime there's
We
like
keep coming back to just prosecute diddlers every week.
yeah, it's too dark. But also, like, the darkest part is we never run out of content. It's like...
Oh my god.
This week we're back persecuting the 39th priest.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
no.
week we're back.
I wasn't even bringing...
Again.
I wasn't even bringing, like, religious figures into it.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. Scott, Derek, and I...
We wouldn't be able to get any of those... We wouldn't be able to get any of those priests on the podcast, though, because they change their IP addresses every couple of years.
Those VPNs only get you so far, man. Eventually you cross the line to VPN.
Oh, God, that's evil to say.
Back to the episode. You're talking about being mostly enjoyable.
Yeah, but also like this also kind of reinforces a problem I've had so far with the season, where everything is great. Like as far as the episode, everything has a flow to it, but it feels like they have to wrap everything up in such a neat, tiny little package by the end of the episode that like we miss out on opportunities for greater storytelling. You know what I mean? Like I didn't need him to be done. You know, with this mission by the end of this episode. You know what I mean? So it feels like certain parts of almost every episode so far have been rushed through, with the exception of the first one, which I felt like really kind of dragged. But it's this need to have like everything wrapped up. Like, all right, we're back on our way to the final objective. But to me, it feels like you're playing Skyrim. Like you're gonna get sidetracked 8 more times before you get the fucking Whiterun. There's like 3 delves and a dungeon on the way, bro. I know what's coming. You know what I mean? And it's like to me, it would just if it didn't feel this need to have a discerning end to every segment of the show, I feel like it would have a more natural ebb and flow, and I would even enjoy episodes like the Frog Lady one, where it didn't feel like it was just like beginning, middle, end, all in this neat little package that felt inconsequential. And even with this episode, I kind of got that a little bit. Like I enjoyed the chase sequences, I enjoyed them sneaking in, I enjoyed like a lot of it, honestly. The aesthetic of the planet, like everything was really well done. Everything felt discernibly Star Wars. But again, I feel like it would do better on a long format like this if everything wasn't so singular. You know what I mean? Like if they could make an episode feel like a potential cliffhanger could have been like, you know, we don't know like if they're gonna get away from the base, or we don't know what's gonna happen, or anything where it's not just at the end of every episode I have to sit around and wonder what the fuck's gonna happen next week, because we don't have any direction yet. You know what I mean? Like
I know what's happening next week.
I mean, we know what's happening next week, but at the same time though, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just it's one of those things where there's nothing at stake at the end of every episode. And to me, that's a problem this season. At the end of every episode, there's no stakes at the end of it. Like by the time there's nothing for me to ponder over and worry about and wonder about and hypothesize at the end of the episode every week. And you know what I mean? Like in season 1, I felt like it had more of that. There was more stuff going on, like more reveals, more. So far this season, we've literally just been like trying to find a Jedi for 4 episodes.
I disagree with that. But not on a grander scale, specifically with this episode, because I thought I thought they did a great job of world building in this episode, because we get to go back to a planet we saw in season 1, and they've started to make Carl Weathers' character Gina Carano started to turn this planet around. That was nothing but like scumbags, creeps, mercenaries. They show a fucking school, which was fantastic. That whole scene was great to me for world building. They really turned the planet around. They introduced the schism between core worlds and outer worlds, where the New Republic is saying like, you know, there's a threat coming. We see it in the Outer Rim, but these core worlds don't fucking believe it, and it's going to be a problem. And then they also introduce some extra shit that Moff Gideon is doing. Spoiler alert, with the Death Troopers, which is a super hardcore nod to Star Wars Dark Forces, the video game.
Yeah.
And this larger segment of like, oh my god, did they just make a fucking Snoke reference, or what might be a cloning reference in what's going to start building towards the First Order? I thought this episode did a fantastic job of world building and story pushing. Maybe not the entire episode, definitely in the last 5-10 minutes of the episode, to the point where I thought the major plot of this episode was wrapped up in a little bow at the end. But I thought they introduced a bunch of threads that are dangling for the rest of the season to be, you know.
I mean, I'm not discounting those. I'm not saying that there wasn't a lot of interesting stuff in this episode, but to me, it's the same formula every episode so far this season. Show up in a town, talk to somebody, find out where I got to go, what I got to do it, leave.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, I feel like I'm somewhere in between you guys where, like, on one hand, you know, we've talked about with season 1 how they kind of approached storytelling from like an older perspective, or formatting from an older perspective, whereas rather than having this overarching story happening over a season, you have self-contained storylines within each episode. But it feels like they don't know now which one of those they want to do a little bit. Like, so every episode is its own self-contained thing, but they always have one little like think of like, oh, that's the overarching thing. And it's kind of like, I'd rather them see them do like one or the other. I actually loved this episode, by the way. But it is kind of like you have this, they go to this base on the planet and they go in there. And obviously by the time the episode's done, everything's resolved. They blew it up. Mando's out of here. But it was like, I'm glad that they did the thing where they showed the clones, where he kind of knows what direction he has to go in now. But it was kind of like, it felt like they had to squeeze in so much into this 2-minute, like, oh, we have to pay, you know, tribute to our overarching storyline. It's almost like, well, then just do one, you know, like, it doesn't have to be every single episode has to be a perfect circle, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost like they wanted to do it in the beginning to challenge themselves to format in an older way. And it kind of feels like sometimes they regret it with some of these episodes. Like, oh, well, now our big storyline is suffering a little bit. So I think I'm kind of like in between you guys on that one.
I rather like it, to be honest. I mean, in the first season, and as Scott can attest to since you started watching it, like you said, it was this very serialized, very Clone Wars type of season where it's like, it's the first 2 or 3 episodes, because he's getting a baby, are all kind of like a part 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then it's like standalone adventure, and until we get towards the end where the last like 2 episodes kind of link together again. Right. And I liked that, but it wasn't what I necessarily expected out of the gate, mostly because the marketing was so secretive that we didn't know what to expect out of the gate. With this season, I kind of prefer the like, here's a new adventure that also expands upon the larger thread. I with the second episode, I think it was the spider one, I was disappointed that all that was a self-contained story, solely because it felt like when it's like that, sometimes it runs the risk of feeling like nothing but filler for me.
Yeah.
So the kind of mix of the two, I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you both liked it. I mean, I didn't know what to expect because for all you listeners, like, we try not to talk about this stuff amongst ourselves, besides maybe going like, yeah, I liked it, or yeah, I didn't, or no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Just so that the conversation's fresh. I also, surprise, I love this episode. I thought it was great. I mean, I thought some of the visuals were just fucking great. Like the stormtroopers on the fucking speeder bikes coming down the hill. Dude.
And that wreck. Ooh.
The fact that they didn't even come down clean and they got like 2 of them died.
Yeah, like of course they can't even fucking shoot somebody down a straight hallway. How the fuck are they gonna pilot these speeders flawlessly? You know what I mean? Like, these aren't their elites.
What I liked about the action sequences in this episode that like I didn't like about the action sequences in the previous episode is that they let the shot go. Like, if you go back and watch Bryce Dallas Howard's episode, it's very quick cuts. Sometimes you have like 6 cuts in a span of like 2 seconds, which is nauseating. Carl Weathers let these shots just sit. Like, from the moment they dive off the thing, it hangs for like a good 5-6 seconds right up to that crash. It even goes beyond that crash. The shot keeps going, past it. And then the other example that I fucking loved was, well, 2 of them actually, was when Mando, shoots up on his jetpack and the shot sits for a second and then he lands. A stormtrooper shoots at him. He sort of jostled, turns around and shoots at him. And then the other one, which was like, obviously this is all CGI, but it's one of my favorite shots in this entire show, was the very end when he's chasing, there's 2 TIE fighters left. He's chasing one straight up.
That was so good.
I think there's only 2 cuts where he shoots the one, you see the air brakes come out, the scene pans, and we go around, and then right like when we get here, we see the last TIE fighter like come into focus.
That was real fucking good.
Fucking good. And I feel like a more like juvenile director would do that into like all these nauseating cuts like fucking
Yeah.
15 over like 10 seconds. I thought it was so well done, a lot of the action in this episode.
That's a great sly little factoid that you slipped in there. This is Carl Weathers' first time directing an episode of The Mandalorian, and I don't know his directing background. I don't know anything else that he's done, to be honest with you. And I thought he did a fantastic job, especially with the action. And there was a lot in this episode, you know, between the taking over the base, which was a joy. I really love jeans and a t-shirt guy in the back hallway there in that one scene.
So I couldn't see past Gina's giant veiny neck in that shot to even notice he was there.
I mean, it was pretty
that vascular veiny fucking neck.
Yeah,
she's on some growth hormone. I'm telling you,
she's got some tree branches, like every limb. It's just another.
Yeah.
You know, taking over the base, the chase that we just talked about. I can't get over how much I loved the fucking speeder bike chase. That part was so fucking great. You know, them running back to base, the whole. You know, I'm just repeating points that we've all said at this point, but the shot up and how he takes out the last two ties, the whole thing I just thought was really well done. And then on top of that, the Dark Trooper reference there, which again is a Star Wars Dark Forces video game reference that they're now bringing into canon. Yeah. These are not humanoids, and from all accounts, even though it's dark in that, it looks like Moff Gideon is bringing these. They're robots. They're like a phase 3, like they're big, bulky. Yeah, robots. Not robots, it's robots. Right. Big, bulky, armored units. Not really droidica style, but I don't know what they're going to look like because all we really got was just dark and glossy, so I don't fucking look like anything.
Yeah.
Dude, Dark Forces was fucking sick. That was like one of the best.
Yeah, it was really fucking fun. And to see that come in, it's such a good nod. Dude, you can buy like the entire library on Steam for like $20. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. To see that come in, it's such a nice nod to fans, and it's just a reminder that the showrunners like Favreau and Filoni, they love Star Wars so much, and they're just like, it's like every episode they're like, what can we bring back into the fold that's kind of lost to time in Star Wars canon. I don't know about you guys, but that one fucking clone they paused on for a second looked an awful lot like a Snoke.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying it is. It could even be a precursor to him, but like there's a big bulbous head and even like a scar in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I watched it like 3 times.
You gotta wonder, like, who are they cloning initially to have that ugly, fucked up face? Like, who did you clone where that was your base model? What was it about that guy where you were like, yeah, Lumpy Danny DeVito, let's do that one 100 times over.
Lumpy Danny DeVito.
Dude, like even lumpier Danny DeVito.
The whole bit with baby Yodes just straight up ganking that guy's blue macaroons in class was hilarious. The callback to him then blue vomiting in the ship, like dude was having a fucking ball on the ship when he was like, woo! Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I just want to make it clear that I don't hate this episode. I'm not trying to sound like I'm being pessimistic. Like, I genuinely liked the action of this. I liked the story of it. My problem is just the overarching story.
Yeah, I'm actually with you on that too. Yeah. Like, for all the things I liked about it, I kind of had the same. I'm like, are we doing a self-contained stories, or are we doing an overarching? I kind of felt the same.
Well, because season 1, like you said, Chris, like I think it was the first 2 episodes were back to back the same story, like a continuation.
Right.
Not necessarily a cliffhanger, but it was the same. It was the same situation split into 2 episodes. Same thing with the closer, which I think the episodes 7 and 8 were was kind of a cliffhanger there. With that, we're not seeing any of that so far this season. Like, half of the first season had kind of like a larger scale, like continuous plot thread going on. You know what I mean? Like, we had the first 2 episodes that were the start of the story, and the last 2 that kind of like put a button on it and closed everything up. Right. I thought we were gonna start getting that after episode 3, where where the other Mandalorians show up. And I thought we were going to start seeing like maybe a hint towards a greater narrative that's even kind of reaches beyond Baby Yoda and returning him to, because he's probably just Yoda reincarnated, right? Metachlorians can like make someone pregnant, like someone like a star probably shat him out or something. I honestly don't even care where Baby Yoda came from. I'm not even interested in the origin.
Yeah.
That's like the least I'm concerned with in this entire show, honestly.
I am weirdly looking forward to the reveal of the name of his species, just because no one's ever known what it is, and I want them to tell me.
I don't know, man. There was another one named.
There's no way after this amount of time that everybody's
going to be. No,
I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, like,
we're going to be like Boglebops or something. Like, that's the fucking best.
Yeah, Yoda and Yaddle, the Bodabops.
Boggle farts. I like that one. Yeah. So overall, we liked it. A couple issues with the storytelling. I can understand where you're coming from. I just disagree. I just, again, Star Wars shill, surprise.
Glad you can own it.
Yeah, I own it proudly, because the giant lightsaber. We've been through this before. I mean,
No, show all the listeners your lightsaber again, Chris.
That has different connotations, Scott. So we know next week, or at least we think very heavily, Ahsoka's going to be involved because it's Dave Filoni directing, and we've had this theory running since they announced that she was going to be in it. And we found out the director's list per episode. She's probably making an appearance when he's directing because that's his baby. I can't wait. Just to warn everybody, I'm probably going to cry when I say. Well, you guys won't have to watch it. It's okay. I'm not going to cry when I talk about it.
You should film yourself.
Yeah, you should be that guy who films himself watching it for his reaction.
100%.
Like that guy who watched the Rise of Skywalker trailer.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, that's so bad. I'll film it and then I'll judge how bad it is. I'll film it and judge how poor it is. Maybe I'll let you guys watch it and then one of you will just steal it and fucking post it without my permission.
100%.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to next week so fucking much. They're going to Corvus.
Same.
And I happen to feel like I know where it feels like kind of disparate story threads, but we've talked about it before. I kind of feel like they're all going to coalesce with this kind of maybe a fight between Ahsoka getting the Darksaber back from Moff Gideon at the end of the season. Maybe they're trying to reclaim Mandalore. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to save for bigger threads going into season 3 versus what they're going to try and wrap up this season. But that being said, we have one final thing to talk about. And boy, howdy, did I fucking hate this with a passion I did not know I would hate it with. I'm very disappointed to announce that the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special was hot corporate garbage in the worst sense.
Yeah, completely soulless. Completely.
No.
Everything that looked charming was in the trailer, and it was 30 seconds worth of charm in 45 fucking minutes.
All the good jokes were in the trailer, which I get we've all seen a Seth Rogen movie before, but
yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh my God, Derek. I mean, maybe it's a spot of hope that says I'm not a complete shill for Disney because this thing, unnecessary.
It's so relieving to me. It's so relieving to hear that.
Unnecessary does not do the feeling justice that I felt about this. It was so far from. It lacked all of the charm of another Lego, like a Lego movie or Lego Batman. There was no fucking life to it. Mm-hmm. It felt like, what's an idea that can make us money? The moral of the story, which is supposed to be the lighthearted, emotional core, was dumb. It's the same shit that happens all the time, which
you
is
should be friends.
Right. The answer was right in front of you. Yeah. And I don't know what to say about it. It wasn't canon, by the way. Thank fucking God. Although they introduced one.
There's no way it could have been.
No, it's not.
I was like, there's no fucking way this is canon.
There was one.
It was just shitty Robot Chicken.
Yeah, no, it really was. It was if they limited Robot Chicken to PG, and I don't know.
It literally did some of the same jokes. Where the Emperor gets a gift from Vader. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It literally was some of the same jokes from Family Guy, Star Wars, something Dark Side.
They just made Robot Chicken for kids, basically.
Yeah, or Robot. It was verbatim. Some of them. I'm watching it. I've seen this before, but it was funny the first time I saw it somewhere else.
It wasn't.
It just presented itself I was hoping that they would have the humor of the Lego movie or the Lego Batman movie, but it was way more akin to an episode of Ninjago or whatever that show was called.
It was just
bad.
I've got little cousins.
Low hanging fruit. There was no effort in any of the jokes. It's just almost they're just oh, you guys are Star Wars fans, right? You have to laugh. Fuck you. It was.
Look at this porg. Look at this little porg. It's gonna fall down.
Yeah. Post
it was not good.
Post oh, I overcooked this turkey in the engine. Schmorgadorp. This is my best Bill Hader impersonation.
It's like that. It's like that dude from Rick and Morty. Glory was glue, 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 glue. You ever done that before? Yeah. No, first time. That's so weird. Why would he do that when he leaves? It's they just threw all these things that it was a sitcom we've been watching for 15 years, and we're supposed to know all these fucking little idiosyncrasies. Nothing landed for me. Nothing that I didn't see in the trailer landed for me. And the stuff that landed in the trailer didn't land a second time. I remember,
that was the other thing.
Yeah.
It's
I remember
funny in the trailer.
I remember watching the trailer and laughing.
Funny in the movie.
I remember watching the trailer and laughing, and then hearing you do your Jinx, double J, laughing harder at you doing your impression of them doing it than them doing it. When I saw it again, I was oh, Derek should have been the voice actor for this. Both parts. Really, it just. them not having the actual, like, you couldn't get those actual actors to deliver 10 minutes of dialogue for your shitty fucking movie. Like, there's probably a reason you couldn't get them to with all your Disney money.
I imagined that when we talked about it initially, that like way more VAs of the original actors were doing VA work. Like it was only like 3 people. Like it wasn't.
Yeah,
even
I think it was
much.
like Anthony Daniels and Billy D. Williams, and like let's be fucking real. What else have they got going on right now?
Mark Hamill almost exclusively does voice acting and didn't do voice acting for this. Think about that.
Well, because he was like holiday special. Oh, no fucking way! Not after the first one.
It's just great to see that they're continuing the tradition of doing dog shit holiday specials that no one asked for or needed.
Yeah.
I didn't see any bounty hunters that were introduced in this one though. So I don't think we're getting our next hype train for no reason Boba Fett type character.
Sick reference, Scott.
Yeah.
I forgot that Boba Fett was actually introduced in the holiday special.
Yeah, and somehow remains just as unmiraculous throughout the following movies.
I'm so glad you're on the same fuck Boba Fett train because
I mean
OG trilogy Boba Fett.
Aesthetically, he's cool.
I really am too.
He's cool looking.
And that's it.
Yeah,
he has a cool voice.
Yeah, but like his books were fucking awesome. Like him. There's like a story in the Boba Trip. What is it? Fucking the Slave 1 book they did where he's like fighting IG 86, 7, 8, and 89, and he kills all of them by IG 88. You know, it leads up to like that battle that Dash Riker had to have on Ord Mandel against the IG 88, which is canon in Shadows of the Empire.
Oh, shit, got some fucking knowledge.
Son. That's the reason there was only one.
You pulled out your veiny dick, and that's not quite graying yet, and you threw it down on the table.
Well, I mean, if it was graying, it'd be like throwing a steak in with a bunch of tigers around here. Am I right? You thirsty boys.
Hey, Derek, how many veins do you hope it has?
Oh man,
throwback.
I'm at the part of being COVID lonely where even you guys pretending to hit on me is flattering and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you're like blushing right now. Oh. Stop it.
Oh, my dick.
Any other person wants to have physical contact with me? That sounds wonderful.
You know what? It's funny.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. What were you gonna say? It's probably a good one.
This guy's you want to cornrow my leg hair for me. We play some R. Kelly.
I don't even understand.
You can braid my hair.
It's a testament to how shitty the holiday special was that I'm out of things to say about it because
me too.
It was so underwhelming and bad in the worst ways that it's just like it just kind of meeked by. And I turned to my wife after it was over and I was like, that was kind of bad. And she was like, man, I mean, Grayson, my son probably would have liked it. I'm like, yeah, if he's 2 years older and actually understood what he was watching, but instead, he was fucking off playing with Play-Doh the whole time.
By the time he's 2 years old, you can sit him down and he can watch a real Star Wars movie and he'll enjoy that.
Yeah, that's true.
More.
But that's what's like really. Here's the final thing I have to say about it is that like it's so filled with Star Wars references that it was clear it's not for kids, it's for us. But all that humor, like nobody in our demographic or age is going to think any of that's funny. So it's like, who was it really for? Like, you loaded it with fan service. That's going to make sense to nobody.
I think it's for both.
Who've seen them.
I think it was an attempt for both that fell short. The fan service was meant to give the adults that are forced to watch this by their 3-year-old children something to be like, oh, cool, Max Rebo, I know who that is. You know what I mean? It was meant to give the older people who are going to be held hostage by this in the same way that parents have been held hostage by Barney and the Wiggles and Lamb Chop and Dora the Explorer.
Wiggles are legit, bro.
Yeah, fruit salad, man. Fucking slaps.
They do Rattling Bog.
I gotta be honest, like the children's shows I've been forced to watch over the years for my friends who have kids is half the reason I'm Pullout Gang. That's really it. Like if I knew that there was program out there,
not good television.
Yeah, like if I knew there was a song out there that wasn't about like what kind of fruit was in my fruit salad for 20 fucking minutes, or like my friends' kids had this one song that was about like making a cheese sandwich, listing all the ingredients, and it was not a catchy song. You know what I mean? Like imagine having to hear that.
I won't have to imagine it soon. I'm on my way there.
I'm gonna
be singing the cheese sandwich song soon.
I'm gonna go to high schools and just tell kids all the things I've seen. Just be like, I'll be their abstinence program. Like, look at me. I fucked for 10 years and all the life is gone. Like I'm dead inside. Don't do it. With every coom, you lose a little bit of who you are, a little bit of your essence, a little bit of your soul. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Meanwhile, Chris and I are going to be harmonizing the fruit salad song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take the lower register. No, you have to take it. You get much lower voice than I do. Oh shit. I'll struggle with some of the high ones then. All right. I don't have anything else to rant about with the fucking Star Wars. I mean, it was garbage, right?
It was really
hot
dumb,
garbage.
yeah.
It sucked. Yeah.
Hot canned corporate garbage. The only moment that shone for me was, oh, I lied. None of them did. I got fucking nothing. I don't have. We're out of topics.
Diddler Court. Hard. I can pull up a background that's like a judge on a podium.
I feel
right
like
now.
in order to have Diddler Court, we have to actually get the wig, and like whoever's like the judge that week has to be in the makeup too, right? Like that one episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Wait, what makeup?
I don't want to wear the powder.
You got to powder. You got to do it.
I don't.
And it has to be the same wig.
Women.
So like whoever's Judge Diddler the next week. Oh no, no, not Judge Diddler. Whoever's the judge in Diddler Court next week. It just they have to bring.
Could it be S Judge W?
I feel like Judge Diddler
that
is what
started
happened.
as a pity laugh because I didn't understand it, and then I understood it, and then it was a genuine laugh. That's what happened there.
I watched that transformation and I was confused by it, but I'm glad I got the director's commentary on it.
I feel like Judge Diddler Judge Dredd beats somebody too hard one time in Mega City 1 and then gets accused of like touching a kid, and they call him Judge Diddler, and that's a moniker he has to fight off for years afterwards. That's the sequel trilogy for Judge Dredd.
Was there?
That's how it goes.
I don't know. Like
Judge Dredd 2. I wasn't a diddler.
I think we're gonna wrap it up. Do we have anything else to talk about this week? You guys have any topics? Nothing? Cool. Okay, we still hit our 2 hour mark.
Well, I mean,
we're good.
I have things, but I don't think you want to hear them.
I'm okay expanding upon the Judge Diddler. We're not calling it that.
No.
But for purposes of
you can't call it Diddler Court either, though, because like that's just too much.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Judge Diddler implies that the judge is the diddler.
Right.
Yeah,
Which is not. It was just so catchy. It stuck. Diddler Court, whatever we end up calling it, I'm okay with this concept because I think it's fucking hilarious.
I think
But
we're gonna
there's
get
a
in
real
trouble
fine
immediately.
line.
Yeah, we're gonna get in trouble right away.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of cuts after those final episodes for sure.
There's no way we can do that.
All right, fine.
There's no way.
You build my hopes up and you're ripping them down. Okay.
Well,
That's what you
very
do.
much like the diddlers around the world.
Oh no! Nope. Go ahead.
Just get it out now. Just get it. You gotta.
No, that's how the diddlers got in trouble. I'm not doing that.
Fuck. Okay. Once again, you can find us on Facebook. Oh no, go ahead.
So Simps for Satan, right?
Right.
Simps for Satan.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys ever dated a girl who was into some ridiculous shit, but you were in the middle of such a long dry spell that you just tolerated all of her nonsense?
Yes.
Yeah?
Continue.
All right. Well, I touched on how I hung out with a girl who was in astrology hell, and it didn't go well because I called my mom at 1 a.m. to find out where I was born and what time.
Right.
But I feel like it's been a recurring pattern in my life where I've put up with a lot of nonsense. Like I've gone up with girls who like own crystals and burn sage to like smudge the house. Oof. And like, yeah, right? Has anybody else here, listeners? Anybody?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever spitefully following a smudging and just farted in every room you can?
No, I can safely say I haven't, but continue.
Okay, well, never mind then. Never mind.
You're like Dark Scott tonight. I love it. You're like, remember when you fight Dark Link?
Yeah,
it's just like you're yourself, but you have red eyes and everything's black. It's excellent. I love it.
Well, I'm drinking tequila again for the first time in a while.
Oh,
that's the key right there.
Yeah, that's what does it. No, but where's the line at though? Like, I mean, there's a lot of weird shit out there, man. Like I dated a girl. Well, I don't even want to tell that story.
Come on, man.
Let me backpedal like fucking Goonie style again.
Okay.
Well, no, like there's people out there that are into some weird shit, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be handcuffed to a bed while you're drawing a pentagram with ketchup on my stomach. You know what I mean? Like Jesus fucking Christ. How much shit can you tolerate and still maintain your integrity? Like depending on how hot the girl is the question. Is it like Is it like the hot crazy scale?
That's the variable. Like how hot the girl is how much ketchup you're willing to have on your chest.
Yeah.
It's really
it has to be
direct.
I mean, not ketchup, but like I'm trying to tell a story of what happened to me without actually telling the story of what happened to me. Because it's
it's not working.
Yeah. All right. Well, one time I went out on a date with this girl that I met on Tinder, as you do. Okay. And she was the kind of girl who showed up to the bar wearing a butt plug and didn't tell me until we were halfway through the second round of drinks.
Ooh,
and then a little light bulb went off. Like, oh, that's why she's been rocking back and forth in her chair the whole time.
Ooh, okay.
Shifting.
I thought she was just on maybe some weird vertigo medicine or something.
Yeah, bro, she was just unstable.
Yeah.
Sitting on a top or something.
So I mean, she dropped the bombshell on me, so I couldn't let this poor girl walk around all night with this thing in her butt. I had to help her get it out.
Yeah.
So we get back to my place. Things are going really well. We start having sex, and then she starts talking dirty.
Oh, okay.
In the form of a question.
Oh no. That can always go one of two ways.
How good do you fuck me? How much do you fill me up?
Did she Alex Trebek you?
Yeah, it was like she was a slutty contestant on Jeopardy. It was fucking weird.
Did she have an almost passable European accent?
No.
To bring it back to Jeopardy, was she?
What?
By Jeopardy, I clearly meant Barry.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, did she have a Chechnyan accent? Was it like on Barry?
No, I wish.
Question, would that have made it better or worse for you?
I mean, like, if there was a weird, like, if there was a language barrier, it makes sense why she was talking wrong. But, like, it was just, I was so distracted by it that I couldn't even finish. I had to spit on her back and pretend I was done.
Hey, can we end every episode on a sex story from Scott? Can
No.
just
Yeah.
be...
This is one of those things that I'm going to listen to back and immediately regret saying, but tequila.
I'm happy. That makes it better for me.
Almost like a theme song. Tequila.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just want to put a PSA out there that if you're talking dirty, do it right. You know what I mean? You don't have to be overly aggressive. No guy wants you slamming your face into his dick like you're Bam Bam with a fucking club from the Flintstones. Relax. Take it easy.
Just call me a fat little girl. That's what brings me. Just do it.
Yeah, just can you tell the pegging thing?
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to. I actually have two announcements for our listeners. Two announcements. You guys already know. We've discussed this. One is that me and my very beautiful girlfriend, who I'm very happy with, we're having a kid. So June 21st, we're going to have a little baby, little tiny baby. Yeah, very exciting. The other announcement is that earlier today, she said that she would buy me a new graphics card if I let her fuck me in the ass with a dildo strapped to her body. So those are the two things sort of just in one. We're having a kid. Wonderful, right? And as long as I let her fuck me in the ass, she's going to get me a graphics card that I want. So
which is also wonderful.
Also good, yeah. So,
I mean, it's a little tainted. No pun intended.
Yeah. Oh, there's going to be a lot of taint. Yeah. There's a lot to traverse there.
I've heard tales of your poops, and I feel like she is a very brave person.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be rough. It's
Question. Do you want her to, or do you not want her to pull on your man bun real hard while she does it?
I feel like it's kind of like when in Rome, right? Like once you're in there, you might as well just really, like she might as well spit on my back and call me a fat little girl at that point. It's like, let's let's get a good hard cum out of this, right? We're getting a 30-80 out of it and a baby. Come on now.
Oh yeah.
I don't have any good stories.
I love you're like 30. I'm getting a 30-80 and a baby.
Also a baby. I'm more excited about that one, I swear. And your girlfriend's going to be very happy just on all fronts. Hopefully. I have to posit this. What if she does this and she pegs you, Peggy Hill style, and then she's disappointed in the experience? Like, what if not happy with what happened.
Yeah, what if she stares down at your burly, pale male ass? Like, none of us have attractive butts. Let's be honest here. None of our butts are going to be doing anything for fucking. I can't think of an underwear company. Fruit of the Loom. That's how old I am.
Sure.
Yeah. No,
it may be not very rewarding experience for her, but I can guarantee it's not going to be for me until I get that 30/80. So,
hey,
right.
Remember the time we saw Phil's butt when we were younger and we just got real depressed?
His hairy, tiny butt.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting to way too personal.
It's probably time to wrap this up.
It's time to wrap this up. Derek, thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm happy to share anything and
Scott,
everything.
Thanks for letting us know that you had dated didn't date. You banged someone who had a condiment fetish that drew a fucking pentagram.
No, it wasn't ketchup.
What was it?
I don't want to say.
Oh, that's part 2, baby. You gotta tune in next week.
Coming up next week, we gotta keep people coming back. All right. You can find us once again facebook.com/thecynicalnerd. You can tweet at us at the Schmegdirt. Please follow us. If you have a question for us, it's #AskTCN. If you want to ask Scott specifically about more questions, please come find us. And Scott, what do you have to add in, because it looks like a good one?
I was just gonna fuck with you. I was like, no.
No, come on, you gotta do it. You gotta do it now.
I was thinking in my head, like if there was any way I could make like a fake scar of a pentagram across my entire chest and convince you somehow that she had done it with a knife.
Oh, no. That would make the story so much darker.
I know, but I'd have to
and cooler,
super glue like little pieces of circus peanuts all around my chest. It looks like I have raised skin. It's like, yeah, man, she did a number on me, but man, we were listening to Marilyn Manson the whole time, fucking cranking one out.
She turned into Robert Englund from Nightmare on Elm Street, and she just carved it in with those fucking knife gloves.
Hey, there's a graying actor you guys can suck the dick of.
We gotta fucking go. This is getting super
Your
weird.
excitement at that was so great. Oh, another graying actor you can suck the dick of. Write that down.
Hey guys, a glory hole submission for you.
Oh my god! What if people wrote in and it was just all glory hole submissions?
Oh, that's actually a great idea. Graying actor, glory hole submission.
Yeah,
Let's start a poll.
Get final judgment on whether or not they're allowed in line at the Coombe Fair.
The video you sent of Ron, of you asking her, is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. Holy shit!
Yeah, it's a done deal. Now I just have to figure out if I'm actually going to do it or not. Because immediately afterwards, I'm like, well, I could just buy it myself. And then I'm like, but she could just buy it for me too. Like, if I just bite the pillow for a minute, everything will be okay.
Well, the thing is, like, usually it's over when someone finishes, but with her, it's just me over when she gets bored. So, so you're in trouble.
I am.
Because she's gonna get her money's worth if she spent $800.
Yeah,
She's gonna put
a lot of money.
Gonna put some miles on that beehole.
Derek, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Dr. Gloom MD, which is DRGLOOMMD. Dr. Gloom MD.
Scott, how about you?
You can't find me anywhere. I don't exist outside of this podcast anymore. I am very much like Batman in that I am the Night.
Yeah, he's deep faked.
Yeah,
just all the time. Are you also Vengeance or just?
Yeah, you guys. Like Chris and Derek found a picture of a sweatier guy than I am, and it's have him deep faked over my face.
Sweatier guy.
He looks just like me, but he sweats a little bit more than I do.
My name is Chris. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at TCNPlays. I will certainly post, probably post the video of me likely crying, or at least covering my mouth in pure joy at the first sight of Ahsoka on those handles. This has been The Cynical Nerd. Thanks for tuning in once again. We'll see you guys next week. And with that, have a good one.
Well, we got to rate it. Hang on. We got to rate it. We didn't.
Oh, yeah.
That's my only real job as host. Let's be honest. Derek, what's your rating?
4 graying bushes out of 5.
Scott, how about you?
I'm
gonna go first then. I'm gonna steal it just in case you think of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 Gina Carano veiny necks.
Oh damn, that's a good one. Gina Carano neck veins.
I'm embarrassed about mine now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 times that I genuinely mispronounced her last name and didn't give a fuck because she's a worthless piece of shit.
But for real, she's a giant piece of shit.
Yeah.
And with that, we thank you for hanging out. Have a good night,
What do you
guys.
think her butt
See you
smells
guys.
like?